that. Does anybody want to do a recap for an inspiration point?
I can do it.
Go for it.
Okay. So, Ruin just finished his rebirth and Kara's like party. So we head back. And as we're walking back, we can see the grove is like more vibrant and life is coming back into the area. And we get there to the residential area, and there's a giant party happening. People are drinking, dancing, and everything just is just happier, and like they're able to spread their magic throughout the land. We're given our own bottles of wheat vodka, which Velphie takes a Schnickelbum, which we established is a cross between a dragon fruit and a plum in the shape of an eggplant. Puts it in her wine and puts Roland on on Schnickelbum wine. And then there are fireworks, which we've never seen before, so we're all just like entranced by it. And then we discover the Halfling's Leaf, which was super chill and really awesome. So some of us were pretty inebriated, to say the least, and went to bed early. So Golmac took the professor to his bed. And then Velphie talked to Golmac about some more serious things. We learned about Elnora, Golmac's wife. We learned about, I think the land used to be called Theravada. Okay, Theravada. And then he told Velphie about this like underground bookstore that has no name, and that all this information that I'm asking about with the people that are like outside of Sydonea is like super dangerous information that I need to like protect. And then Velphie's going through like an existential crisis right now because like everything that she thought is just torn asunder and is like she's lost. So Ruin talks with Kara, and I don't remember too much about that other than the fact that Kara asked Ruin if he could bring Vana home. And then Ruin has a dream about his mom. And then we wake up nice and refreshed thanks to Golmac. And he makes us pancakes and he gives us the recipe. Let's see. They took care of our rides, our horses slash goat. And let's see. We were talking about how many members were dying versus not returning, and about how like we only had one mission that went after an actual member, and they sent someone afterwards to make sure that like we did our job. Now that was like kind of weird, and they didn't send anyone for any of our other missions. Then we hug Golmac goodbye and head out and leave our little slice of paradise that we've been living in and eating delicious food. And as we're walking towards the end of our trip, we hear a scream and see this like murder of crows just take off into the air. And we were making camp, but decide to walk with our crystals lit to get over to that area where the screaming happened. And as we're walking, we hear another scream, then we hear some music playing, and then a woman scream. And then we notice that the crows are opening their beaks and making these sounds themselves. And there are so many crows that it's blacking out the sky. So as we get to the spot, we see a broken lute next to a body that I recognize the lute to belong to Jonathan, who had been seen several months ago. And his body was like picked to pieces, tattered clothes, it was very weird because he's not in the order and shouldn't have been out there to begin with. So we decide to make camp nearby. It goes pretty well. Like the watch goes pretty like chill. There's nothing happening other than hearing the crows and all the little messages that they're saying about like other order members and that big things are coming and like all these little like hints and stuff. Um, then for my watch, I see this like glimmer in the distance. And when we wake up, we find this like magical pool of water that Ruin and Velphie drink. And it's like a healing reservoir that's found in the Feywild. And then we move on and make it back to outside the city.
Perfect. Yeah, so you
Yay!
all are right at the edge of the sphere at the current moment. But before we start there, we're going to start in a room that is made of solid stone. And there are two people. One is older, wrinkly, greasy, in these slate and black robes. And he's talking to Dahlia. Dahlia, would you like to explain your character?
Dahlia is a drow with white hair. She's got the typical drow gray skin. She's in darker armor, and she's got light purple eyes. Yeah.
And Ignatius is walking to and from, to and from, to and from, and he's talking about what is going to be happening next. So your next mission, you will be joining a circle that has been very successful recently. And for the next mission, they're going to need a trained killer, and this will look very good for you. This might even push you into the masks. Your job is to make sure that they succeed.
She'll just stay quiet and just let him talk.
This is your time to shine.
My time, huh?
Well, of course, by proxy, myself as well.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. So do not make me look foolish.
That isn't my job. You do a good enough job doing that yourself.
Always the snapbacks. Always the snapbacks. You know, I've actually been working on something for you. And he's going to reach into a bag that he's got underneath his robes. And he's going to pull out a porcelain mask. And it's got antlers. And it's got the beautiful eyes of an elk. And it's got the designs of the nose. But as soon as it hits the nose, everything is blank. And he's just going to hold it up to you. Maybe you'll like this. And he's going to have like the snide, like just really cruel smile on his face. Then there won't be any snapbacks. Do not make a fool of me. Also, keep an eye on Ruin while you're there. I gotta make sure.
What's so special about Ruin?
Well, he's my golden child, I guess you could say. Make sure
That's not for me. I'm not your golden child.
Maybe you would be if you didn't snap back so much. And he's just gonna grin. Go to the headquarters and meet Dalmet. You'll meet your new circle there. And he's going to stomp out.
Then she'll take a breath and then leave.
And with that, we're going to Friedrich, Ruin, and Velphie. What all are you doing?
I guess we're right outside, correct?
Yes, you can see the gate and the entrance, and the guards standing post.
Okay.
Standing there staring at the bubble, being like, ugh. We're home! Yay!
Yay!
Do we need to have a conversation about any contraband we may have and what we want to present versus what we want to keep?
I think
here?
that's a very smart idea.
Do we remember what what we were supposed to bring back? We were supposed to make sure that we fixed the issue.
Dalmat didn't give you any indication of
Needing to
anything
bring
to-
anything back.
Mhm. He just
Okay.
said fix the problem.
Okay, well,
So we fixed the problem. Effectively, anything else that we have is ours to.
I mean, yeah, we have the Mind Flayer head.
I don't know if
I
any of you
feel like
have-
we should. I feel like we should bring at least some of that to them to be like, look, the fuck, because these
Yeah.
are all. I don't know about you, but I hadn't seen. I mean, Mind Flayer, we've established that I know a thing about, but these beasts that had the tails and were hard to hit. I've never seen those before. And whatever Ghosty Boy was that was sucking the life out of everything, that's new to me. So
I've never seen any of these things.
Yeah.
I feel like we should possibly maybe go with the Mind Flayer head, give them the Mind Flayer head, and then use the rest as collateral for information.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we have, right? We have the Mind Flayer head.
Yeah,
We didn't
Right.
pick up anything else, correct?
we picked up. I have the dust from the weird ghosty thing,
Oh, okay.
and then we did grab a couple of displacer beast tentacles, their tail or whatever the flippy.
Well,
And I'm not sure the correct phrase. Yeah, and we also have a few order member badges that don't
That's
belong to us, or pins.
and we have that leftover water that we found that we're definitely not giving back.
Right.
yes.
And I wonder if we'd be able to get it past the barrier.
Didn't we test that?
Did
We
we?
Yeah,
did.
I mean, it went right through the barrier. Yeah, we tested it with one of the.
True. My memory fails me
Crystals.
in my old age.
That's okay.
I mean, it feels like we've been standing outside of the city for a week, right at the entrance for a week, and just standing here. So it's
True. That's true. So we have a plan, and then all things Gully stay with us.
all of
Yeah.
that is locked away.
The only obvious one, the only obvious thing that we have is the Mind Flayer head, because it's kind of, and I look back at Lucky's back end, and you can kind of see it. You might see the front of the Mind Flayer, the tentacles on the deedly 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 on the front of the Mind Flayer head dangling around.
And honestly, if we walk in with that, I doubt anyone's going to say something like, "Is that it?" So
Right.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, so we decided to hand over the head, the
Yep.
dust,
I think-
just. Are we keeping the dust?
I think we might as well just keep the rest of it, because we could use any of that as collateral to get
All right.
information.
Yes,
I-
yes.
Because if we had
Yes.
interesting things, they'd trade it for. We could get information. So I know
So-
we all have things that we're trying to get information about.
what about the order pins? Are we giving those?
I don't know. After what
Yeah.
we learned, I'm not inclined to. But I don't know. They haven't asked for them. So
Right.
no need to give those until they are seeking them. So that's my take, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I believe you and I both, Friedrich, have like quite a like bag of order pins because you grabbed a bunch off of something and I grabbed a bunch off of something.
Yeah, we
So
sort of
we've
got a little
got-
collection going.
yeah.
All right. So just the
Cool.
mind player head.
Let's
Affirmative.
go. I'm so excited. So excited to be back in the city.
I'm
What
gonna
time
miss
of day
those
is it?
pancakes.
For real.
It's about noon, maybe between noon and 2. And as you all start making your way towards the gates, the guards are still standing there, just holding their weapons at guard. You can see the guards on top of the wall as well, just keeping an eye out on the tree line. But as you walk through the barrier, you feel that familiar buzz from your pins, but everything else is normal. The guards don't even look your way as you enter.
So the professor doesn't light up like he did last time?
Not this time.
Okay.
That's good. I thought I had a condition.
That's kind of what I was, you know.
No, that's it's comforting. I don't know if that's the best word.
It's like,
Reassuring.
I would hate to have to kill you right when we get back to the city, Professor.
At my age, you just start to randomly fall apart. It comes on rather quickly. So it's another day. But yes.
Let's
Does anyone have any
make our
particular
way.
business before we go back to Dalmont, or should we just start there and then maybe?
Well, I mean, unless we want to walk around with this mind flayer head.
I'd rather get that off of the horse, and I'm sure Lucky would rather get that off of him. And I kind of look at him and go, right?
You're going to notice Lucky just kind of like looks back with like little wide eyes. And like you can, like he's doing that like very like slow nod, like he understands. I want it off.
You both make very convincing points. I agree. Let's offload this cargo.
Do we can we ride the horses all the way up, or do we just have to like put them in the stable and carry a mind flayer head all the way up to the?
You've never really seen the horses like rode or ridden up to base. They are typically put in the stables and then the reapers head back that way. But just because no one's done it before doesn't mean you can't do it.
I mean, there's no point to like ride through the city. I don't feel like. I mean,
Parade the head.
Good part is everybody will leave us alone if I'm carrying a,
Or maybe they'd be super interested.
walking along with like it's a torch. It's like, no.
I mean,
Ask me about my mind flayer.
it's a bleak world we live in. It may not turn many heads. I don't know.
Fair. Well, so to the stables we go.
Yes. Off we go.
And it's a very easy trek to get to the stables. Not many people are here at the current moment. You can kind of assume either people came this morning or they're going to be coming in a lot later this evening before the sun sets. So it's pretty empty in the stable right now as you all unload the horses. Is there anything you'd like to do with your mounts and goat with your mounts before you guys head to Dalmont?
She's a mount.
Mount and goat.
I'm going.
By all means.
I'm just going to give Straya a little sugar cube or two because she did such a good job.
She's just gonna shake her mane, and you know the eyes light up, and the tongue starts.
I'm just gonna poke her tongue. Did you use your good girl? Let me your good girl.
I'm gonna give Lucky one of the like schnickel bums that we brought back, and take the mind flayer head off, so it's like a double win for him. He doesn't have a mind flayer on his back, and
Very excited, Lucky.
Is everyone done with? So, remind my poor memory. I now have the ability to speak with animals, right?
You do.
I'm an inquisitive sort. I'm going to try this. And I think I know how to use it. I think being a wizard, I would know how to cast it, even though I'm not familiar with the school it would come from. And I will do that. What is it? It's just a verbal and somatic. So just a little say a word. And I just lean right down into Peach's face and say, "Can you hear me?"
Oh, dearie me. Hello? Are you talking to me? You seem to be talking to me. You're very close. You don't normally get this close. Are you okay?
You don't sound like what I thought you would sound like, but I don't know what I thought you would sound like.
I was about to ask, what did you think I sounded like?
A goat, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure I still sound like a goat.
This is a terrible introduction for the first time speaking each other's language. How are you doing?
I'm really excited you can talk to me. No one's talked to me in a very long time.
Has someone talked to you before?
Oh, plenty. And I will say, you notice that this, compared to like all the other animals that you can hear just kind of talking to each other, she's very intelligent.
Oh, do I hear like background chatter?
You do.
Oh, okay. It's like, oh, another sugar cube. Ah.
So you hear Straya extremely giggly. Sugar cube, sugar cube, sugar cube, sugar cube, sugar cube. And like the tongue just keeps coming out, and you hear Lucky. I'm getting sugar or snickle bums now. I didn't get a sugar cube though. Although the sugar bums are pretty good. I really like those. Those are really nice. And you just hear them kind of going off of that one. And you hear some other like animals just kind of chit-chatting to each other. But it's very like kind of broken conversation, not very smart. Beatrice, though, very intelligent.
I've wanted to do this for so long, and yet I find myself at a loss for words. I guess I never thought it possible. What do you do here while we're in the city?
I wait for you to come back. You're my best friend, you know.
I didn't want to presume anything, but likewise.
Oh, that makes me feel very special.
Yeah, I'm not much one for parties. My conversation topics are a bit boring.
I don't think so.
We've never spoken before. Or have you been listening?
I listen.
You're fascinating.
Thank you.
We'll see. I'll see you in a little bit. And and I'll have lots of questions. And of course, you can ask me lots of questions as well. But I didn't know you could ever understand me, so maybe you already know most everything because I like to think out loud and speak out loud.
Yes, you do. But you're my dearest friend, and that stays with us.
And I'm gonna scruffle her ears.
Oh, I always like the ear scratches and like her little paw, like not paw, but her little hoof. Very slowly, as she's very old, kind of goes up and down. Thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you. Enjoy your stay, and we'll talk again soon.
I am very excited. I haven't talked to anybody in like 15 years.
I'll just make a mental note of that. Well, goodbye. See you soon.
Goodbye, my dearest friend. And she's just going to kind of like do little circles and like plop herself down in her stall.
Now, what do we hear the professor say? Is it just like the professor, like, bah, 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 bah?
Y'all hear ba, ba, ba.
I'm buying or bleating. What do they
You're
call it?
bleating.
Gee,
First he can
Yeah.
climb up, and now he can. Bah.
I'm part
You have a
spider,
good
part
conversation
bat,
there?
part goat. You can tell he's not doing a good job hiding. He's very, I don't know if confused is the right word. He definitely feels out of his element because of all the magic he's done before. He's never spoken with a goat.
I mean, that is quite a magical experience.
It's odd. I mean, I created a creature out of rotten apples, and that seems like a walk in,
Speaking to something living is a lot different than speaking to something that's back
Yeah.
from the dead.
I was
Or
about to say a
dead,
walk
I
in the
don't-
park, but I don't think Sydonea has parks. So
The closest thing you'll know to a park is the front of the Order has a big tree and like a pretty little grassway. But that's about it.
So I will retract that turn of phrase. That all seems like just normal everyday business compared to speaking with a goat that I have been riding for years. It's very odd. Have either of you ever spoken with an animal?
Can't say I have.
Well, I can't say I have those capabilities. It might be a thing that I mean, it's definitely a thing that I'm more interested in learning than I used to, or than I used to be, but can't say that I've ever had the opportunity to converse with a goat.
Yeah.
I just assume Lucky understands me, and he probably doesn't like me 90% of the time, but that's fine. We get along.
That's all that matters.
Friedrich, you can hear Schnigglebums. I really want another one. That was really good. Wonder if it'll make my hair grow back in. I'm actually very self-concerned about my hair spots.
For what it's worth, Lucky likes Schnicklebums, and he's a bit self-conscious about his patchy mane.
I mean, it's looking better since we went to the druids, so it'll hopefully fill back in, unless we're stuck here.
Yeah. And Friedrich's just going to scratch his own bald head, meaning he's very well aware and also self-conscious. But, when you're 155 years old, you lose a little hair here and there. Anyway, I appreciate your patience during that little experimentation, but we can be off if everyone's ready.
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, the sooner we get rid of this mind flayer head, the better. I think it's starting to leak.
Ugh. Oh, can I smell it? What does it smell like?
Rancid.
I would say it probably doesn't smell good because we don't have any way to keep things. We kept it as cool as we could in the infirmary, but
We
it's
didn't,
been
like, salt
on the
pack
back.
it or anything.
Yeah, it's been on the back of a horse for a couple of days, so
So not a pleasant smell.
no.
Be a perfect gift for Dalmont. Exactly what he deserves.
That's the idea.
Well, shall we? Let's be off.
And while this is happening, Dahlia, you're able to walk into the Order base, which you've been into many, many times. You cross the little green lawn area where the big tree is at. And you notice that they do have a bigger gate recently than they used to because of an incident where horses came through the tree and they couldn't get the horses out. So they've recently reconstructed the gate. But as you're walking in, the obsidian floors, sparkly as normal. You can't tell if a liquid is clear or colored because it just blends in. There's the big crystal that's in the center in the floor with a glass panel over it that's shooting blue electricity everywhere. Not outside in the actual open area, but underneath the floor in that casing. And you would know that this is what powers the sphere in this area. There's not a whole lot of people in here at the moment, but you hear rapid footsteps like someone is running. And then you feel like somebody just tackles you with a big hug.
Oh.
With a big hug. And you hear Violet. Dahlia, hi. I haven't seen you in so long. Are you doing okay? And you hear heavy footsteps coming slowly behind her as you hear this deep sigh from Ro. She's very excited.
She would have frozen at first and then just would pet her. It's yes, I'm doing fine. I'm glad to see that you are doing all right as well.
Well, we're alive, so
It's progress.
that's progress. There's progress. We're alive. I can't. And she just seems a little nervous.
All right. Are you doing all right, Violet?
Yeah, we're okay. There, and she's gonna lower her voice. If you go to the underground anytime soon, stay out of pleasures.
What's going on at Pleasures?
Theron's having he's acting out a lot more recently. So, it's a little... And she just waits for you to continue.
Are you safe?
For now.
Okay.
For now, but he's hungry. And that's a little scary.
Yeah. Just let me know if you need any help with him. If I need to give him nightmares or something, just let me know.
Ooh, that sounds marvelous, but we definitely don't want you to have to deal with him. He's acting out a lot, so just be careful.
You as well.
Of course, I think we just got back not too long ago, so I don't think we have a mission anytime soon. At least maybe for a couple days, I should say.
Okay. Get some rest, stay safe, and keep me updated.
Of course, you stay safe too. Are you heading out?
I think so. I'm meeting a new crew, apparently.
Oh. Any idea who?
Someone who has been very successful lately.
Well, I feel like that's an insult to the rest of us. Have we
Well,
not been successful? And she's going to kind of giggle for a second.
I think I've been very successful, but you know who
always
gives me my
successful.
missions.
Yeah. He's not the brightest cookie in the box, is he?
No, I like that analogy.
And she's going to do a gagging face. And Ro is just going to... He's got his arms crossed. He towers over everybody in here. If this new circle gives you any issues, you talk to me. I can put them in line.
I will. Well, let's see how they do first. I'm
Okay.
disappointed that I'm not going to be with you anymore, but
Yeah. Apparently we're not successful. And like this is the Ro does not do like mocking jokes very often. A very like stern voice. And he's just like successful. And he does like even the little head shake too.
I love him.
But we're heading back home, so if you need anything, you know where to find us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Same for you.
Tired.
Get some rest, Violet.
Yes. And Violet's going to squeeze you one more time before her and Ro slowly walk out. And you're going to see Dalmet's desk, where you were ordered to just meet and wait. He's covered in white. Like, you can't see any features about him. You can get like a rough height. But other than that, you can't get any of his features. And he's just sitting there at his station, just writing. There are a couple of others very simple or similar to him at other stations. And they're doing something similar, but no one is really at their station. So they're just quietly writing. And you can hear like the scribble marks as you're able to find him.
She'll go up to the desk and sit on it cross-legged and just watch him write.
And he's going to pretend you're not even there as he just continues to write.
She just puts her chin in her hand and just watches and waits.
And with that, we're going back to Friedrich, Ruin, and Velphie. As you all are leaving the stable, what would you like to do?
I think we decided to go to headquarters. Is that right? Yes, we were on our way there.
Just head directly to headquarters and then fuck ups afterward.
Yeah, I mean, you have a hard time talking me out of one of those ones these days.
And as y'all are walking, you actually do pass the bar. And as you pass the bar, you see the drow from the last time y'all went to the bar walk in.
I don't know anything in particular about that drow, right? That was Velphie and the professor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do not know Beltov. Velphie and Friedrich do, but I think only Friedrich knows his name.
Where did I learn his name again? Oh yeah, I spoke to him and I cast friends. I might remember that. Do I notice who it is when we walk by?
Yeah, y'all definitely are able to, or you at least are able to tell that that is Beltov walking in.
As soon as I see him, I'm gonna turn my head the other way.
Do I kind of clock the professor obviously looking away from somebody, or
if you're trying to hide it, roll a stealth check.
I'd try to hide it from Beltov, so I'm assuming from anyone.
Yeah, roll a stealth check and Ruin roll a perception check.
14.
That is I definitely, that's a 23.
Yeah, so you definitely notice him turn his head.
As I'm gonna not say it, I'm gonna clock it and not say anything until we're like past the bar, so it's not like, and then just look over at the professor and be like, "Is that a problem, Professor?"
I don't know. He's very suspicious. I guess maybe a week or so ago, when Velphie and I were at the bar enjoying some of Timble's finest, he was sitting in the corner watching her very closely, and I sort of tried to intercept him and find out what he was doing. And I may have used magical means to sort of pick his brain a bit, and he might recall that. So I'm just trying to Keep a,
So
a low profile.
maybe a problem, maybe it's nothing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's it. I still don't know why he would be watching her so closely,
I,
but
I have no, I mean, like, I know that I'm a little interesting, but
It's just a little bit.
you're definitely interesting. What stood out to me was that he was in the bar, which we know very well, and he appeared to be stark sober. And why are you in the bar if you're not drinking? So it's just a bit odd.
yeah,
That's a fair assessment.
heebie-jeebies. Don't
in the
like
bar
it.
alone, not drinking. It's one thing if you're with friends and maybe you're trying to, I don't know, keep tabs on them, but why would you be watching, a young bard creepily in the corner? Just odd.
Yeah, I am honestly thankful for Antir for getting me out of there. Because, I was very, very inebriated and anything could have happened.
Yeah, charming guy. His mother, very nice lady.
Maybe we could.
I still haven't met Andir, have I?
Yes, you spoke to
Don't-
him right outside of our Enchanty when everybody was getting ready to leave. And you made
gotcha.
him blush
Okay.
because you said something about like him and Velphie
Something
or
about
something like
Velphie.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
him and Velphie. Yeah. Okay. It's all coming back. All of the pieces are falling back together, and now they're just not in a pile.
So yes, could be a problem, could be nothing, but didn't want to start anything right now.
That's so it's probably good we're taking time before we go to the bar.
Yeah, definitely so at this point.
Although, I mean, I guess what happens if we go and he's there?
I mean, if he's there and causes a problem, we have our solutions.
Our fists of fury.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like we've done anything wrong. Why would he have any need to keep tabs on you? We
Well,
don't
I mean,
even know him.
two of us haven't done anything wrong. One of us used magic on him.
Well, I mean, wrong and right, it's all a matter of perspective. I mean, I'm not a doctor of philosophy, more so of medicine, but I dabble. And I think perhaps I could be justified. I don't know where this is going.
But let's
avoid
go. Yeah, let's
You know what? Yeah.
get rid of the drippy mind flayer head, and
Excellent plan.
mainly because I want to put it on Dalmet's desk.
And as you all make your way to the main station, the base, everything looks normal. People are walking around with their usual like anxious self, like the anxious tension that's usually here. And you all walk in, and it's kind of quiet. Y'all are walking in as soon as Violet and Ro are walking out. And Ro is just gonna look at you, Ruin, with like furrowed brows. Huh. And then he's just gonna continue following after Violet.
Glad to see you're back, Ro.
He's gonna raise two fingers like, nope. Nope. Glad you're alive, I guess. And continuing on his way with Violet just kind of like skipping, trying to look like very energetic, but you can tell she's tired. And as you walk in, there's not many other Reapers in here at the time. It's kind of quiet. You can hear the electricity of the crystal kind of bzz, 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 but very, very gently. And at Dalmet Station, you all see a drow with her legs crossed, just watching Dalmet write.
Now, would I have any recollection of Dahlia at all?
Give me a history check.
Just because, yeah. History. That's an 18 on the die, but give me a second to the dirtiest of 20s.
The dirtiest of 20s. You would have seen Dahlia briefly. How would Ruin have seen Dahlia? What would she have been doing?
I would say, is that her saying?
I don't know. Where did he see her?
Like it would. My thought would have been in around like Father Ignatius,
The church.
Yeah.
the church area.
By herself a lot. Just keeping to herself, away from the others, not saying a word.
Okay. I just kind of clocked that a little, like, huh. That's okay.
And as you all are walking up to Dalmit's desk, do you want to describe your characters?
Velphie is she's a little tiefling. She's about like 5'6". She's got pink skin, she's got red eyes, curly black hair, and she's, slender. She's got a lute on her back. She's very happy-go-lucky, trying to be a light in the darkness type of person. I think that's about it.
Friedrich is an older half orc, half elf.
Half elk.
Yeah, he's got antlers.
That's why he can talk to animals.
I don't know where that came from.
It all makes sense.
Okay.
Half man, half bear, half pig. He's a half orc, half elf, older, kind of a greenish grayish skin, bespectacled on his balding head. He's a wizard, so he sort of wears a bit of like a dark colored, fancier looking robes. Walks with a bit of a hunch, usually his hands clasped behind his back, sort of like the old professor walk, like he's walking back and forth in front of a lecture hall sort of look to him.
Ruin, you'd see is a Goliath, so right about 7 feet tall, shorter on the shorter side for a Goliath. I think they typically are closer to 8 feet tall. I remember correctly, but he's in, it's like a kind of green and black, more green than black armor. And the probably the one time that Dahlia would have maybe seen him, his sword was like basically jet black and very jagged looking, and he's not carrying that sword anymore. Has a shield on his back and is carrying a weird looking head on his belt.
And if Dolly would like to roll a history check.
Surely. Histories. Yeah, that's not great. Natural 20.
Nice.
So for 21. Okay.
So yeah, you would
Take
definitely
it.
have seen Ruin. Would you like to explain what Ruin does in the church?
I feel like when you would have seen Ruin, he probably would have been talking to Father Ignatius and getting whatever orders, and at the time very like, yes sir, no sir kind of thing. Seemed like he was very like drank all of the Kool-Aid that father was sending his direction. But you might clock now that he looks a little bit different. Like it's not gonna like come out as like a wee, but
Seems different. Okay.
And I would say you would remember with a nat 20, Ignatius saying, "Remember who got you here, boy." But you all are walking up to Dalmut. What would you like to do?
pulling the head right off of my belt and being like, "We're back."
You can see his body. He slowly stops writing, and like his veiled face looks up. "Oh, aren't you both a pleasure?"
Dahlia, was it? Have you been keeping Dalmet company?
Yes.
Oh,
Been quite
fantastic.
bored though. He's not very interesting.
No, he's definitely not.
And she's got these big, like, spectacle sunglasses on, kind of covering up her eyes. And she just kind of like looks down at the mind flayer head and pulls them down. It's like, that looks tasty.
Yeah, Dalmet, we figured we'd make sure that you knew what we ran into while we were dispatched out there. It's not very often you see mind flayers in a field.
He's gonna like poke it, and like since y'all have had it for a week, like his finger kind of goes into it, and then he pulls it out and he just shakes it off. "Well, it seems as if you have fixed the problem." And he's gonna pull out 3 gold coins, and he's gonna hand them to Friedrich, Ruin, and Velphie. And you all have 200 gold pieces each.
Ooh.
Yes.
Question: does he look at all surprised to see a mind flayer head, or just disgusted?
Give me an insight at disadvantage because you can't see any of his features.
Oh yeah.
Can I make one as well?
Yeah, if you want to. Anybody who wants to can.
Well, no. I mean, it's a 7. His face is covered. I see nothing.
Well, the same thing twice. An 8.
Ooh, I got a natural 20 with a +3.
Nice. Excuse me. With the 7 and an 8, he's just Dalmet. He's a dick. You can't really get anything. With the natural
Fair
20, he does not look surprised, or not look, but he doesn't sound surprised. He just sounds disgusted by it as he is still trying to clean off his gloved hand.
Okay.
But he does not seem surprised.
She's gonna clock that.
I can assure you this thing is not tasty. As Frida looks at Dahlia. But it did almost find our young friend here tasty. So if you see one of these living, with the rest of it attached, stay far away.
Hi, by the way, I'm Velphie.
Hello.
I am
Dahlia.
Hi, Dahlia. I am new to the order. This is actually not my first time, but like what is it, like third time going out? So I'm very, very new, and kind of enjoying it a lot.
Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
And my apologies. My name is Professor Friedrich Adler. Are you a friend of Dalmet?
I don't think Dolmet has friends. So no.
That's good to hear. Then it's a pleasure to meet you. And I extend my hand.
And then she'll take his hand and shake his hand. Nice to meet you, Professor.
I mean, I introduce myself that way. You don't have to refer to me. I mean, unless you really want to. I'm proud of my research, but I'm not overly prideful, I don't think. Try not to be. I do ramble. Dolmet, does this suffice for taking care of the problem?
I paid you, did I not?
Dick.
Yeah, but some verbal confirmation would go a long way.
If you need verbal confirmation, yes, you have done your job. Congratulations. However, I have another job for you. I'll be heading out in 2 days. You have a new member added to your circle. She is a specialist in her area. And you will need that speciality for what you are doing next. You're going to be taking out the beast that has been lurking in the woods. We think that that's the reason why so many reapers aren't coming back. We think that he is eating them. He's gotten a little too big. So we are asking you to eliminate it. This will be difficult. Be at the stable's first light the day after tomorrow. 300 gold pieces will be provided to each of you on your return. And he's going to reach under his desk and he's going to pull out a map and he's going to slide it to you. And there is a red circle to the southeast of the map. We have been provided information on its lair. That's where we assume you'll find it.
This is outside of, this isn't like the thing that we saw in the, is this the thing that we saw in the beginning? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Or
So
that we kind of almost saw, but didn't really see because we went, no thanks. We're going to go. Okay. Well, that should be interesting.
I love that.
Yeah. I turn to Dahlia. What, if I may ask, is your specialty?
Death.
That'll do for this type of assignment, yes. And then I turn to Dolmet and just ask very plainly, what news of Vana?
No idea.
Does Dahlia know Vana?
I'd say Dahlia has had a mission from not Dahlia. Dahlia would have had a mission from Vana once. She was pretty new.
Okay.
Well, give her our best or whatever, and then I'll turn to walk away from the desk.
And he's just slowly going back to writing.
I'm gonna look over at the mind flayer head and just pat it and be like, I'm just gonna leave that there for you. It's a nice little gift.
Squish, squish.
You're gonna hear him snap. And another unknown is gonna come from downstairs. Walk behind his desk. Very gingerly pick it up. And you hear noises from as they like stand there for a second and they just kind of look up. And then they're going to walk back downstairs.
Just to the group, I'll whisper, I think that's the first emotion I've ever seen one of them show. All it took was a
I
severed
know.
head.
All it took was a severed, rotting head.
The bar is high.
Also, Professor Friedrich, might be good of you to attend your students tomorrow.
Okay. That sounds a bit ominous. Any other information you can provide me with about that statement?
Well, they haven't had their teacher.
I'm sure they understand. Duty calls.
Of course. Sometimes it's good to show face.
Yes, I would
Was
agree.
that a joke, Dalmat?
Yeah.
He's just going to turn his head very, very slowly to Ruin. And you just feel like he is staring deep into your soul and not saying a word. It might be a good
Got it.
idea to get acquainted with your circle. Who knows, it might be the last time you all are together. And he's just going to go and start writing.
Always so friendly.
Such a joyful place.
Always love our encounters, Dalmet.
He is not going to respond. He's just writing.
Right. Well, so what now, friends?
I'm gonna look over at Dahlia and say, I didn't want to presume that I know you. I know that I've seen you in the church.
I recognize you.
I assume you've had run-ins with Father Ignatius.
Yeah, a few.
He's
A lot.
he's special, kind of special.
You see him often?
More than I'd care to.
She's just gonna spin off the desk, knock a few things over on purpose, but make it look like she didn't, and then join the crew.
I love that.
Oops. Put her big sunglasses back on.
So we
Time for fuck ups, I guess.
Yeah. So, Dolly, this is something it's becoming a bit of a tradition, a bit of a ritual almost. Upon our return, we get incredibly inebriated at the bar.
Sounds fun.
I mean, there's not much else to do in this city. I'm sure you're aware of.
Very aware.
So, anyone have any other more pertinent business to attend to?
No.
Nope. I mean,
Oh.
should probably take care of the other, like those beast tentacle things at some point, because we don't want to leave those rotting any more than they already are.
Does anyone have any use for them?
What was the creepy store lady whose name I can't remember?
Seraphina?
Seraphina.
She said if we brought anything neat back,
That's true.
I would classify those as neat.
I would agree, to say the least. Did Dalmat tell us to meet back the day after tomorrow?
To meet at the stables the day after tomorrow, first light. And also, Dahlia would know the name Seraphina. She's an information broker.
And what time of day is it about now?
I'd say it's about 3.
I I do have some business to attend to while we're in the city, but if we have tomorrow to do it, then uh, I am okay to take today for leisure.
Then I'm gonna go take some stuff off of my horse so he no longer has to carry around rotting meat. And make a delivery that's gonna be real awkward because I'm gonna walk into a woman's shop with rotting flesh.
I will accompany you if I may, if you're going to see Seraphina.
Absolutely.
I
Velphie?
could tag along.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll check my to-do list and I'm free.
All right, and as you all make your way back to the stables, as you are leaving base, there's a little flyer next to the door that says the Order Ball formal event 3 weeks away.
I assume we would know about the Order Ball.
Yes. Velphie would not, since it would be her first formal. But it is very, like, military ball-esque. But you do know that there's really good food. There's really good drinks. A little bit nicer than the fuck-ups. And everybody dresses in pretty outfits. And it's their version of letting loose, which isn't very much.
So, what's this Order Ball?
Oh, I forget that you haven't been around
Yes.
for a while in the Order long enough for it to be a. I don't even know if Ruin would have attended an Order Ball. Like I know that I'd know of it, but
Completely up to you.
I don't know as he would have cared enough to attend one.
Yeah, similar for Friedrich. I think he would have gone maybe to have a drink or two in the corner. He's not much of a social butterfly.
People get to get dressed up. There's what vaguely resembles dancing.
It helps with morale. Morale.
Morale here. That's a thing that I never even thought would go in the same sentence.
Well, it sounds fun. Are we gonna go? Are we all planning to go?
I'm planning on going.
I know I want to go because it'll be my first ball.
You should certainly experience it for yourself at least once. I would probably stop in for a drink or two.
I mean, maybe a cup of tea, Professor?
Yeah, something like that. There's some of the best
I mean,
distilled tea.
you could never go wrong showing up with a date.
I've never taken one of those before. So, I mean, perhaps. I don't know.
Just saying, I know somebody.
I mean, I could tell them I speak with my goat now. That's an interesting conversation topic. I've never been able to lead with that before.
I mean, that is quite a statement to be able to lead with.
And that not many people can.
Hi, my name's Friedrich, and I talk to goats. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it would catch my attention if you introduced yourself that way. So, yeah, perhaps. I mean, what is it? 3 weeks from now, we have some time, I suppose, if we're all alive in 3 weeks.
We've got a whole mission ahead of us before.
That's the big thing. If we're alive. Yeah.
Oh, we'll make it. It'll be fine.
You still have optimism. I love it.
Yeah.
She's very inspiring
Yeah.
on the road. I
Yeah,
must
this
tell
one
you.
is this one is the bright ray of sunshine in this party.
What can I say? Listen, there's enough sadness and dreary. It's time we need to have some sunshine every once in a while.
I don't like too much sunshine.
Well, I can give you some sunscreen.
She has like this big hat on to keep any sort of sun off of her, and the big sunglasses again. She's like covered. Brow.
I was wondering if you had like the hat too.
She has a big ol' hat.
Like
Sun. In moderation, maybe.
No, I can dial it. I can do it in doses.
Perfect.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, I guess we can go see Serafina and then see where the night takes us from there.
So you all are able to head to the stables, collect the materials you need from the horses, and head to Serafina's. And as you all are heading to Serafina's, you do notice that the Twilight Bazaar is a little more busy than normal. And that is where Ruin got the top hat for selling. She makes the pretty dresses, the pretty outfits, any kind of colors you can imagine. The pretty pink tiefling with the brown horns and the black hair is designing all kinds of stuff in there.
I had completely forgotten about, like personally, had completely forgotten about the top hat.
So dang cute.
You forget about the top hat.
Oh, I loved that part. So cute.
And is there anything you would like to do on the way to Serafina's?
I mean, for me, stopping at the Twilight Bazaar is probably a bad idea because I'm carrying rotting meat.
I think Velphie
So,
Velphie is gonna be like, now that she knows about the ball, she's gonna kind of like stare into the window a little bit, see what's going on in there. Because now
you can walk in there while we go take care of this.
I mean, because I do want to have a pretty dress for the ball. I think that would be so much fun.
I'm gonna like
Yeah.
nudge her towards the door of the.
Well, if you insist, I guess I'll just mosey in.
Might as well, right? We've come all this way.
Is anyone else also going to the Twilight Bazaar?
I kind of want to. I do want to go to Serafina's. I'll turn to Dahlia and Ruin him to say, I will catch up. Don't wait for me, but my interests have been piqued.
Get something sparkly.
I have never owned a single thing that sparkles, but I'm not opposed to it.
Today might be the day, Professor.
Today
As I'm walking in the door as I'm walking in like Serafina's door with
All right.
grossness.
As Friedrich and Velphie head to the Twilight Bazaar and Dahlia and Ruin are heading into Serafina's. Serafina's is very quiet. It is like it usually is. There's no open sign, nothing like that. You guys know that you can just walk in. And she's just standing at the desk. Like she's got her arm underneath her chin, like her hand underneath her chin. And she's just playing with a little coin as you both open the door. And she doesn't even look away from her coin for a second. She's just still playing with it. And she has this very long platinum blonde hair that almost looks like it's white. Very smudged eyeliner, pretty green eyes. And she's just playing with this little coin.
You said bring anything neat if we made it back, right?
And she's still looking at her coin. Yes, I did. Did you bring anything useful?
I don't know what I mean, and I like lay much nicer than I was with Dalmet. Like lay the like displacer beast tentacles down on the table, and the what was the other thing that we fought that I got the like
A bodak.
I mean I don't know
Bodak.
Bodak, the Bodak dust down on the table. And it's like we ran into some interesting creatures out in the
She's going to very
Out with the
slowly
druids?
put her coin down and stare at it for a second. Well, color me surprised. I didn't expect you to bring this much. And she's like picking at it. It looks like the fact that it's starting to rot isn't bothering her at all as she like picks it up, holds it up in the light, and like glances at it. I can do a lot with this. What do you want in return?
I'm like I look back at Dahlia because I'm not 100% sure how much I'm gonna. Can I get back to you about what we want in return?
Of course. Also, would Dolly have ever come to Seraphina's?
Oh, probably.
I feel like that would be right up here.
And
Yeah.
she's going to put the rotting things down and like lean across the desk with both hands under her like cheek or under her chin. And what can I do for you, sweetest?
I'm just here for the ride. Just getting to know my new crew.
They seem to be delightful.
I'm picking that up.
And she's going to look to you, Ruin. Treat this one nicely. I rather like this one.
Aw.
If you say so.
And she's just going to start like putting this rotten stuff into a jar or some kind of container to seal it. And you see little magic coming from it. Well, if you think of anything you would like, information, fancy stuff that I can get my hands on, as long as you keep it a secret.
As always.
Perfect, darling. And she's just gonna go back to flipping her coin. You know, this is rather entertaining,
And,
especially
like,
in a boring city like this.
I say, Ruin will pull out the luck stone thing and do this, and like just kind of do the same thing. It's like, yeah, takes your mind off of things.
That's interesting. And she just looks at the stone. What is that?
Oh, that's and I'll like flip it towards her.
And she will very gracefully catch it and start flipping it. Huh, it's got some good weight on it. You know, if you ever want to let this go. And she's just going to look at you. I could find some very juicy information on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold on to it for the time being.
And she's
I'll
going to
keep you in
flip it
mind.
back.
And I'll just like same thing. I'll just like kind of catch it and just continue. And do we want to? I'll look over at Dahlia and do we want to go see how much money the professor and Velphie have spent in the last 10 minutes?
Sure. Sounds fun to me.
And as you all are making your way to the Twilight Bazaar, Friedrich and Velphie, what are y'all doing as you walk over to the Twilight Bazaar? And like, it's a little busy. There's a lot of like people kind of glancing at the fabrics, and who you would know as Ophelia is just bouncing around to all of the patrons in here. This is her favorite time of year, and you can very easily tell because it brings a lot of money.
So Ophelia is the shop owner?
Yes.
Okay.
And just for funsies, give me a perception check.
Both of us?
If
Or
you would
just
like.
Velphie?
And 8.
Natural 1.
You don't notice anything as she's just bouncing back and forth between the patrons.
So what kind of fabrics, what kind of colors are in the shop?
Anything Velphie can think of.
Oh. Okay. So I guess Velphie's gonna walk in and she's like, her face is immediately gonna light up, seeing all of the different colors, the different fabrics. And I'm assuming that there are some dresses already made.
Yeah, she's got some dresses already made, some long sleeves, some very short ones, some sweetheart necklines, some very plunging necklines. Like she's got just about anything you can think of.
Okay, so Velphie she's going to immediately just go over to the dresses and just start like looking at them, and she's like moving them around, like seeing all the sparkles. I'm assuming that some of them have sparkles and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So so she's like touching the materials and kind of imagining herself in any of these dresses. And I guess she kind of sees one out of the corner of her eye that really piques her interest. And I actually have a picture already prepared.
Let's go.
So it is a kind of lavender to like peachy color with the sweetheart neckline and off the shoulder frills and the sparkles and things. So she sees it. She's like, oh my gosh, Professor, I think I just found my dress for the ball.
I think you should go for it. I think that's just what this ball needs, because in my experience, it's a bit of a muted event. A lot of stuffy people. This might spice it up a bit.
You think? Should I go for something a bit more bold then? Maybe like a super plunging neckline?
I would say it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
Mm.
As Friedrich, whatever color an elk. Elk, gosh. Friedrich is just going to anamorph into one by the end of the day.
If your suit doesn't have an elk on it now, I'm going to be offended.
No, but is it metagaming if I did that? To put my speech problems on. Anyway.
If that's what you would want.
Whatever color an orc elf would blush, because Friedrich has never talked about or thought of a plunging neckline in his life before. I would say whatever your heart desires. Again, this is a bit of a stuffy event. It's a bit dull in my opinion, but maybe I'm just the dull person.
Well,
Anything that could spice it up.
You know what a dull person needs, Professor?
What would that be?
I think you need a beautiful, bright, pink suit.
I just want to make sure I heard you right. You said pink.
Yes, what's wrong with pink?
Nothing's wrong with pink. We've been traveling together for a few weeks now. You know I don't own anything of that shade, or really anything that's not a shade of gray. But pink, you say?
Sometimes it's good to step out of the box. Take a step into the unknown. Try something different. I think you would look absolutely ravishing in pink.
You make a good point. Since I've met you, we've nearly died multiple times. And we killed a mind flayer and found out what a mind flayer is, at least me. Um, and we met a giant turtle with a little man on it. And I talked to a goat this morning. So
I say it's time for a pink suit.
we might as well throw it on the pile. Yes.
And at this time, Ophelia is going to make her way to you. Oh, a pink suit would look wonderful. You should get the pink suit. And I heard you talking about a plunging neckline. If you want that on that dress, I can make that happen for you.
I think I do.
Oh.
I think we're gonna go a little bit scandalous, bring some attention.
I like scandals. Oh, this is perfect. And you're going to see her like moving her hands, and she's got like a pair of scissors, and just very quickly, very elegantly adds the plunging neckline to it with magic and a pair of scissors.
Wow.
Do we like this?
I am in love.
Oh, do you want to add a train or anything?
You know what? No, I think a train would make dancing a little hard.
It can, but it's very elegant to turn in.
I don't. Oof. You know what? No.
Okay.
I think we'll stick with this.
Stick with this. Well, this is beautiful. If you want to try it on before you purchase, there is a door. There's a little changing room over here in the corner. If you want to try it on.
Yes, please. I would love to.
Oh, and are we taking a date?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Okay. Well, you want to match? Just let me know. I have a memory that never lets a piece of fabric go away. And then she's going to turn to Friedrich and whisk out a pink suit. It's very bright pink. It's got like the white undershirt and a pretty little tie that matches the pink of the overcoat. Is this the pink? Are we looking for a darker pink? Or more of a blushing pink?
And I just sort of nervously turned to Velphie with sort of an expectant look like, is it the pink? I don't know. What do you think of this lovely shade of attention?
I was kind of picturing like a dusty kind of rose pink color.
And you're going to see her flip the suit around. Still a white undersuit, but now it's the dusty pink. This.
I think that would go with your complexion.
Green and pink are very pretty. And as she says this, Dahlia and Ruin are walking in as Ophelia is holding up a pink suit.
Holding a pink suit is like next to the professor.
Next to the professor. Yes.
I don't think this is meta, but I want to ask, because I just looked up what it's called. I didn't know. Is it possible to get an ulster coat, which is like one of those Victorian things that looks like the little short coat, like in Bloodborne? Would she's a what do you call a tailor? Is what we call her
A seamstress?
Seamstress. Yeah, that'd be the better name. Are you familiar with different like coat styles and for like an overcoat sort of thing? It's a bit cold out there.
Oh, it is getting a little chilly, isn't it? What kind of coat are you looking for? Like a pea coat, an ulster coat? Are we looking for a trench coat? What kind of coat are we looking for?
How about the ulster coat? That sounds good. Does it come in pink?
I can make anything you want, dearie. And she's going to scurry off, and she's going to come back with the coat that you asked for in the same color.
This looks all rather lovely. Can I have your opinion as well as an seem to have an eye for this sort of thing. You run a very successful business.
Well, of course I do. I'm the only one in town, so no competition.
Is this my look?
What did your friend say? You look ravishing.
Well, that's 2 people so far that have told me that, so there must be something to it. Okay.
And then you hear Velphie from the dressing room. It could be 3 if you take Kovandra.
Oh, the dearie from the tea house.
I would imagine Friedrich's cheeks turn the shade of that suit. Probably.
Oh, we have some romantic interest.
I think at this point,
tea.
I think at this point, Ruin can't help but just like audibly laugh.
Oh, you're back, dearie. Are you here to get your romantic partner a matching outfit? You know, the one you got the top hat for last week? The pretty
Was that
purple and blue?
Wow. That was last week, wasn't it?
Yes. It's gotten a little busy since then. Everybody's getting excited for the formal.
I can see. This must be a lucrative time of the year for you.
Oh, it's great. I get to make all kinds of fabrics and watch little angels fall in love with someone in their outfit, and it's marvelous. You know, I can't go unless I'm invited since I'm not an order member, so I am a little spiteful. And she's going to, like, close her shawl.
I hear pink is the way to go. Definitely.
I'll keep that in mind, Professor. I need a little bit more time to think of what I'm going to.
And Ophelia's going to kind of like rummage through some of the racks, and she's going to pull out a black like vest, black undershirt with a dark green pea coat looking like coat, and just hold it up for you, Ruin.
And it's like, and then I'm like talking to the professor and just look over it, and suddenly you just know, don't you?
I can design this any way you would like.
I
You
mean,
just seem to
that
be
looks-
into black and green, which is different than what you looked like last time you came in. It's mainly just solid black and grays.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by your new fashion sense.
Yeah, you know, things change.
Oh, they change all the time.
But honestly, that's kind of what I was looking for, and I didn't even know it.
Well, look at me. I am still superior in this art form, aren't I? And then she's going to look at Dahlia. And what can I get you?
I think something white.
Oh,
And
you would
gold.
look so pretty in white and gold. And she's going to just run to the back really fast, rummage through something, and she's going to come out with a white dress with the golden trims, very similar to the Baldur's Gate white dress,
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
and hold it out. Are we looking for this? Are we looking for something a little different?
I think that looks very nice. I do think maybe a long flowy train.
Oh, a long flowy train. Hold on one second. And she's going to go to the back, and you're going to hear like some, like almost like very quickly fabric cutting and being thrown everywhere. And then she's going to rush back out with a long flowy train added to it.
Beautiful. And there's like embellishments all along the bodice, longer flowy sleeves. I think that is perfect.
Oh, you're going to look beautiful. If you want to go try it on, you're more than welcome to. The changing
right.
rooms are over there in the corner.
All right, she'll go off and try it on.
I am so excited for all of y'all's outfits, but I will be right back. I've got a few other customers in here to take care of. And she's going to like bounce to the next person. As you all have your outfits you can change into and try on and see if it fits. See if you like it, see if you like the colors.
So Velphie is going to come out of the dressing room in her new plunging neckline, lavender peachy sparkly dress. And she's going to say, what do you guys think? Is this ball appropriate?
Well, that's gonna stand out. That's
You think
for sure.
so? That's what I was hoping for.
You look lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is the dress. I'm going to say yes to the dress.
I will then also go in to change into my suit. And I probably come out looking very uncomfortable.
Oh, you look so dapper. Pink is definitely a beautiful shade on you.
It's definitely one of the colors.
Definitely a color.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. You really think it looks okay?
I think so. And that jacket, that coat, it's beautiful. Nice
Yeah.
touch.
Thank you. I think I will save the majesty of this for the evening, though. And I'm going to go change back into my dusty old garb. Also, sort of internal here. I don't want that guy to recognize me. I tried to hide it earlier. Now I walk in a pink suit. Might not be a good idea.
Yeah, you might stand out like a sore thumb.
Velphie, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Velphie's going to go back into the dressing room and take the dress off. Change back.
I guess Ruin's gonna go in and try on his. I'm assuming it's like the pea coat, and yeah, comes out in his green and black. A lot more green, a lot less black than he used to.
You look great. I love this. I love the new you.
I have to say the green really ties the look together. It was sort of that missing element, a little pop of color. Friedrich's like talking like he knows what he's talking about now but really he just learned all of this 5 minutes ago.
Makes a quick study.
I'm just happy that you're going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have sort of an entourage here, and we can sort of, I don't know.
It'll definitely be far more interesting than leaning against the wall.
Agreed. Completely agree.
And is Dahlia trying on her dress and showing everybody, or?
She probably wouldn't show anybody. She'd just try it on and then just kind of enjoy it for a minute and then just take it off and come back out and showing the crowd quietly.
Well,
Yeah,
I am excited to see your dress.
Ruin will
dress.
definitely go change back into his regular clothes because walking around the city feels like everything is going to get covered in mud and dust and dirt.
And Ophelia is going to walk back over. How did we like everything?
You did such a wonderful job with this dress.
Aw.
I am in love and I am going to take it.
Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect. So each set is 50 gold pieces each.
Doable.
Can't argue with quality.
Perfection. Here is
Yeah.
50 gold pieces.
Oh, thank you. And I do hope to see your dress. Maybe stop by before you head to the ball so I can see.
Is that to Dahlia or was that to me?
Oh, that was everybody.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wearing a suit.
Yeah, I'm also wearing a suit.
Well, you're dressy, you're formal.
Oh,
Yes, we may need to make a stop by the bar to break the nerves before as well. So we can stop by. And I pay as well.
Yes, I do as well.
Perfect. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for your patronage. And do make sure to tell everybody where you got your pretty clothing from.
Will do.
Even though I'm the only shop in town that sells clothes.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we got our outfits out of the way. Isn't that less stress for the ball?
Now we have something to succeed for. When we're fighting whatever this thing is out in the woods, we can just
think of the ball. Think of your
think of your pink suit and tea.
Think of the 50 gold I spent for it. It's probably the most gold I've spent on anything in my life. So I have to live for it or it goes to waste.
There you go.
Okay, well, with that out of the way,
Professor, let's go meet your friend at the bar.
I was thinking perhaps we could maybe not talk to him and then get to know each other a bit. I mean, us three, we know each other. Dahlia, we certainly don't want you to feel like you're traveling with strangers. And, alcohol always helps to loosen the lips a little bit. If you partake, I wouldn't want to presume.
I do what I can.
So that sounds like a plan. What do we say?
Say tally ho.
I like that. Tally ho. I'm going to use that if I may. Okay, group, let's tally ho to the bar.
Tally.
Let's tally hover to the bar.
Over.
Tally over.
And as you all make your way over to the bar, it's probably about 4:30 now, and it is starting to pick up a little bit since everybody goes to bed pretty early here. And you can just hear like a bunch of music. Timval, you can hear him pouring drinks, shaking things. Like it's getting a little busy in here as you all walk in. And since you all do know that Beltov is in here, Beltov is, as you walk in the same seat he was last time. And he is just drinking his beer slowly. Not beer, his fuck up. Very slowly. And just you'll be able to see his eyes are just glancing around everywhere. Like he's taking note of things. And then you hear a bunch of hollering from the right-hand corner where you see 4 scantily dressed people playing tug of war. And they are very beefy. And you can tell that they are probably raging as they pull on each side of the rope. And Tim will occasionally go over there and dump a bar mat that has like all the liquids and things on it in the center. And you'll hear whooping and hollering as somebody basically falls into it and they realize that, they have lost the tug of war match. They've cleared out some of the tables and everything so that this can occur, and everybody's getting really, really, really excited. But the 4 people that you do see that don't have like any armor on and like showing their muscles all look a little related. But they're having fun. They're like whooping and hollering with each other, and everything else is a little bit more crowded than normal. You see a person in the far back left just playing a little tune, but everybody seems really happy in here. What would you like to do?
I can't say I've been to the bar on this night before. Is anyone familiar with whatever athletic activity this may be?
Are we familiar with whatever is going on?
Yes, the last time y'all were in here, they were doing the same thing.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, Professor, these guys are always oiled up,
Ugh.
playing tug of war.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Maybe I just involuntarily
Blocked
blanked
it
it out
from
of my
memory. Protecting the brain,
dwindling
remember?
we just sit facing the other direction so you don't.
Yes, of course. Where are my manners? Okay. Well, would anyone like a drink? The first round is on me.
Ooh, yes, a screw up for me.
We have one screw up
I'll take a fuck up.
Say another fuck up.
and 3 fuck ups. And I'll make my way up to the bar. Making my way.
Oh, hi. Hello. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you're alive. What can I get you for you today?
Timful, my friend. May we please have 1 screw up
Uh-huh.
and 3 fuck ups?
Ooh, I've got you. That is going to be 2 gold pieces for the whole lot.
I put down 2 on the counter and slide them to him. And then I put down 2 more and slide them to Timble and say, Timble, I don't normally like to pry, but I've noticed the past 2 times we've been in here, there is one of your patrons who sits in the corner and stares at everyone. What do you know about him?
Yeah, I know he tips really well. He's been coming in here for about 2 weeks now, I think. He just likes sitting in the corner. I mean, it's a good people watching spot. I don't really ask questions. He's really nice to me. As he's like pouring your drinks.
Has he ever asked you any questions?
I mean, he asked how my day is.
So just pleasantries and things, not about anyone in particular.
No. What are you getting at?
He just looks a bit suspicious to me. I mean, everyone in here is having fun, and he just sits in the corner and watches people.
Maybe he's having fun watching people. I know I have fun watching y'all. Some of y'all are nuts.
That's a fair point.
I know it's a fair point.
I was just a bit curious. I slide in the other 2 gold, so I give him 4 total.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, if you ever want to ask me anything else, then you can pay me for it. As he like grabs the 4 gold pieces and he has a mage hand bring over a screw up as he is very quickly making the fuck ups, and you see that blue energy come around it again, and he slides them to you. You need any help?
No, I should be okay.
You can carry 4 without dropping any.
I can.
Oh, well, aren't you talented?
And I carry 2 and have my mage hand carry the other 2.
Oh, you can do it too! As he gets really, really excited and somebody taps on the bar, like kind of trying to get Timbol's attention. Oi, okay, I'm coming! And he just kind of like takes off to take the next person's order.
I'm assuming, has the group found like a table or something? Or are we... I'm assuming at a table, I guess.
Were you all looking for a table?
Yes.
Preferably one away from the sweaty men playing tug of war.
Yes, please.
And from Beltov.
Y'all are able to find a table at the opposite, like almost diagonal across the room from the sweaty people playing tug of war. And that little group that has been really, really, really excited. And you can kind of see some people making some bets and things like that. And this is kind of like a rectangular room. So Beltov is on the other side of the bar. And y'all are on the far end.
Does Dahlia recognize Beltov?
Give me a history check.
Beltov's a drow, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
History.
Not that all drows know each other, but it's a small town.
8.
With an 8, it almost like deja vu for just a second. And then just doesn't quite hit. But while you're just kind of looking at him to see if you can remember anything, his eyes are going to like glance at you. And they widen for just a second as they move to your necklace. And it looks like there's confusion on his face for just a second. And he shakes his head and looks somewhere else.
She'll absentmindedly touch her choker necklace and then just try to shake that off. That was weird. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's just sitting over there, just drinking his fuck up, looking around.
All right. Is the professor back with the drinks?
Has Professor made it back?
Have I made it back?
I'd say at
Is he
this point you've made
alive?
it back. You're alive.
You never know.
Professor
at my
died.
age, man.
The professor died. We're gonna introduce Based's new character right in the middle.
The floor was slippery. That was the.
Survived the wilds, only the bar took him out.
Didn't we talk about the cardiac arrest dice roll for Friedrich though, because he's so old?
Yeah, we did, but then you said he wasn't quite that old. So yeah, we were gonna have him roll a D100, and if he hit a certain number, he was gonna have a heart attack.
Oh God. That's kind of fantastic. I'm not gonna
Depends
lie.
on how long the campaign goes, I guess. Yeah,
hilarious.
I would make it back, and I would, give everyone their appropriate drinks.
distribute the screw ups and fuck ups.
Absolutely.
I'm so ready for this. It's going to be like I'm back at the Grove.
I know. Wasn't the Grove a magical place? Dahlia, have you ever been to the Druid farm before?
Has she ever been to the farm?
I would say no, because that's mainly transport missions.
I can't say that I have heard good things about it, but no, I have not been there.
It's very different from Sydonea. It's, if you can imagine the opposite, that's how I think of it.
A lot
So
more
nice.
life. Yes.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go there.
Well, it was a good time, though. It was a really good time. There was delicious food and wonderful company. Despite the reasons that we were there, we still had a really wonderful time.
Agreed. Yeah. Sounds like the next one won't be as wonderful, though. I guess they can't all be great.
Yes, unfortunately.
Especially since if the thing that we're going after is the same thing that we saw on our first mission, it was already huge.
Yes.
How long
How
has it
close did
been
you get
since
to it?
that?
We didn't get very close, but it was extremely large from the
Like-
distance that we were away from it.
Treetops large or
Did we see it? I don't recall if we saw it or just heard it.
Y'all saw it's
Like silhouette type of thing.
Mhm.
Like
and it was big.
it was could I do like a history check to remember back that far and
Yeah,
see
go
if
for
I
it.
could kind of
Because
gauge
Dahlia-
what the
Can I do one as well?
Yeah, if you want to
because
go
she
for it.
went into the
Let's
mode
see.
like asking was it walking on all fours? Was it walking on two legs? Did it have wings? Did it have claws? Did it have multiple eyes? She'll just be like, this is her job.
Oh, well, you know more than I do because I got an 11. It was big. It was definitely big.
Cool.
And Professor Friedrich?
13.
13. All right, so with that 13 and 11, y'all didn't get a good glimpse of it to start with. So y'all know it's big. With a 23 though, you do remember it walking on all fours. You remember it being huge, like being able to not tibby big, but big. And it's able to like break tree branches as it walks, and it has this thunderous step when it walks, and it's got a very shrill screech. And you would know that this beast also, with that 23, is they claim, rumors, it used to be a cleric.
Yes, that I remember.
Yep.
Is that familiar to Dahlia at all?
You've heard rumors of a cleric years ago getting infected. And with that infection, no one dealt with it. And this is what he turned into.
So Velphie's gonna relay her description to Dahlia. So yeah, it's a big guy out there. And we almost ran into it a couple times actually. There was a second time I think we saw it. Right?
Y'all were worried y'all saw it, but y'all have only seen it once.
Oh,
I think
okay.
the second time that we thought we were seeing it, it turned out to be the other thing that we saw. I'm being like Ruin is being vague.
Okay. Right,
Oh, yes,
right.
the other large creature.
Yes. Yes, you're correct. But yes. So if that's what we're going up against, then whew, you know what? Ugh.
It'll look good on a resume.
This is true. This is very
That is a
true.
good
And I'm all
point.
about building up my resume.
And the stories you
Fair.
could tell at this ball.
That would be
Sure.
quite a story.
Nice icebreaker.
Hey, we killed that giant thing that's been out.
But I will say, bringing back a Mind Flayer head is also a great icebreaker.
I would agree. I think everyone else in that room smelt it when we arrived. So it would leave an impression, hopefully.
I just, any chance I get to mess with Dalma.
Such a fun
obligated.
hobby.
It is. That was quite the kicking over all of his.
Oh, that was an accident, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yes, Friedrich.
Not out of game, but I guess would we know, those of us who've been in the order a while, or even just recently, is that something that like other order members do? Is there sort of this like culture of bragging about the most dangerous things you've done and all that, or are people pretty hush hush about their missions?
For the most part, people have been pretty hush hush. Some get really, really excited on things that they've done because they feel like they've made a dent, made an effort in making the world a better place. So they'll talk about that. But for the most part, people go on their missions and they don't want to remember what they've done.
Okay. Dahlia, have you been with the order long? Have you been out in the field much?
Quite a bit, yeah. I've been
Good.
at it since for a young age.
Mhm.
Can't talk much about it, but yes.
You, forgive me for prying, you can't, or you would prefer not to?
I can't.
Okay. That's completely fine. We all.
Can I do an insight check on Dahlia? Whether it's can or won't?
That is up to you. And roll for whatever, if you want to go through with that, roll with persuasion or deception, whatever you want to go with. And then
Okay.
insight.
Well, I only rolled a 9, so.
I got a 7.
Oh,
Battle of wits.
battle of wits with apparently 2 unarmed people right now.
So
I
with
rolled
that,
it.
with that 9 and that 7, Dahlia. How you feeling?
She is not allowed
Ah,
to give details on a
Would I-
lot.
would I feel like it's a similar situation to the situation that I was in previously?
Roll me history.
Can I use a different die than I've been right, or maybe one that I haven't been rolling single digits on? And that is even worse than what I was rolling. That's a 6.
You know that she's not allowed, but you are not sure if
Okay.
it's related to your patron or if it's related to something else, or your past patron or something else.
Okay.
Well, so Dahlia, what are you looking forward to, like, with our circle? You know, are you anyone kind of pique your interest yet, or
My interest. Um,
anyone that
This-
you're like, excited to get to know, or
uh, I guess all of you. I've been in several groups, and yeah, they put me with your group because you have been the most successful lately. So I'm excited to see what you got.
We would kind of know that, or like would Ruin know that you kind of like occasionally do get moved circles depending on what you like. If like, would you get moved if like a circle needed a particular thing, or
Yeah, so
okay,
circles do change every once in a while. And typically, when the order finds a good match, that's when you all stick together.
right?
Like,
So it's not necessarily because everyone else in the circle died.
It might be that somebody didn't, like you were a better fit for another circle or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Okay.
they're very much statistic based and put you together based on your skills.
Okay.
But I am excited not to be solo on missions anymore, so that's nice.
you do solo missions often?
Used to for my training.
Training in what?
I'm assuming it's
Training.
training in things that she's not at liberty to talk about.
And as soon as you start saying training, it almost feels like your throat closes up.
Okay. Yep.
Do
Fun
we
times.
notice any physical reaction or anything?
With that, how would Dahlia respond?
She would react very slightly, kind of like a hiccup almost. And then just get quiet again.
All
I
right.
don't think I would notice that. Not after drinking a fuck up.
So if
I'm
you all
try-
are drinking, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Woo!
Of course,
Different
we're
dice.
drinking, we're talking.
I'm trying to think if Ruin would notice the hiccup, but I don't think that he'd be clocking it. Right?
You want to roll for the hiccup?
I
That
got a
is
dirty
up for
20.
y'all. Or up for y'all. That's up to y'all.
Well, I mean, we already did the whole, and like I know that there's something there, but I'm not gonna. I don't feel like I need to dig any further than. That was also a 20, a 19 con save.
17?
9.
Professor Friedrich starts to feel a little bit tipsy, but everybody else, y'all are building quite a resistance to these fuck ups and screw ups. But Professor Friedrich is a little tipsy.
Woo.
And see,
Just
and
room
see,
feels
Dahlia,
small
this
to
is right.
anyone else.
This is right about the time that he would fall off of a goat.
Goat? Is he the one that rides the goat?
Yeah.
Ah.
Reputation precedes me.
You know what? That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Would you believe me if I said I spoke to that same goat this morning?
Maybe if you weren't so inebriated.
I mean, there was some there was some bleeding going on. I don't know if he was actually talking to the goat or if he was just trying to talk to the goat and see what was going, or and
Well, as they say, if you can't bleat them, join them. And then I down the rest of my drink.
I don't say that.
Make another Constitution saving throw.
they don't. Oh,
6?
Professor Friedrichs is slowly getting worse.
Oh no.
Hopefully that heart attack doesn't come.
You drop from
man.
a D100 to a D4 now.
Oh golly.
now it's down to a D1. Oh,
Well, Velphie, I guess, she's going to finish her drink.
Okay.
And do I need to do a con save for
Yeah,
that?
go ahead and do another con save if you're finishing it.
Okay, that is an 8.
You feel slightly buzzed.
Okay. So she's going to finish her drink. She's going to say, well, I think I'm going to go for just another one. I will be right back. And she's going to get up and go to the bar where Timble's at. Hi! And Timble!
Hello!
How are you doing
I am
tonight?
so wonderful. What can I get you?
Another screw up or another fuck up?
Because that's all I can make.
I think I might stick with the screw up. I really love this schnickel bums.
Okay.
They're so good.
And he starts making it, and you see him like crack the schnickel bomb and like squeeze it the way you were doing at the Druid party as he's making your screw up.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just kind of thinking, my parents used to come here a lot, and I was wondering if you remembered them at all.
What
They
were their
were-
names? I have a lot of people come in here, which is very surprising. But I think it's because I'm the only bar on the upside. That's probably why. I like to think that people like me, but yeah. I'm a little old.
You're very likable.
No, I'm
Don't
likable.
And he's gonna turn blood red.
absolutely likable. You're just the sweetest, Temple.
Oh, thanks.
But there were Karis and Lorelei.
Oh, and he's just gonna do that noise for a little bit.
I can't remember.
They were both tieflings, pink, black hair. Karis is pretty tall.
Oh. There's so many. Oh, I say there's so many tieflings, but there really isn't.
And he's just kind of like looking off into space.
I don't remember. Do you remember?
Temple.exe has failed to
No,
load.
I don't.
He's gonna just start singing to himself for a second.
No, because I think I'd remember if they were pretty as you.
Aw, Tim. Stop, you dog.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh. 8.
You don't notice anything. But he's really racking his brain, but he can't remember either of them.
Well, it was worth a shot. I was just, reminiscing about all the good times we had, and I really miss them. I just, I knew that they used to come here a lot, but oh well. But thank you for my drink.
You're welcome. It's going to be 5 silver.
Alrighty,
And
I'm gonna
I
put
will
down.
Try. I'll go through my books. I used to like drawing people. Like that used to come in. I don't really get a chance to anymore, but maybe I could look in my book and maybe I could find a sketch that I did of them.
Ooh, I would love that. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, not very good.
Oh, I'm sure your art is amazing.
Oh, thanks. I try really hard.
So Velphie, she's gonna throw a single gold piece down and say, "Just keep the change."
And
all
his
good.
eyeballs light up and his eyes slightly dilate as he just grabs the gold and as he passes you the screw up and somebody knocks on the bar next to him very, very politely to get his attention, and they're ordering a fuck up as well.
All right, cool. So then Velphie's gonna take a nice little sip of her drink and start walking over to the table.
Cool. And while this is happening, what's happening at the table?
Just making sure the professor's heart doesn't give out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching the professor more than I'm watching anything else right now. It's like
Professor's watching Beltov.
Give me a perception check.
I guess to be fair.
At disadvantage.
Okay. You knew what I was about to ask. Let's see. Where's a good one? Here we go. Hey, not bad. 13.
You notice as Velphie is talking to Timvol, he isn't looking in that direction, but his eyes widen for a split second. And then he puts back on his face, like his nonchalant face, but he's very surprised by something for just a second.
That happened to coincide with that conversation.
You can guesstimate.
Well, does that mean I could hear what Velphie was asking?
It's a little loud, but you can hear bits and pieces. Unless Velphie is trying to be stealthy about it.
No, she was trying to be more conversational, trying not to really draw too much attention, just making conversation.
So I'd
So
say
I guess-
bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but not like the whole conversation. But you do
So-
know Timvol is very, very red and really excited about that gold piece.
So is Beltov sitting near the bar, or is he
So like y'all are on the other side of the bar
okay?
and he's on this side. Y'all are far end. He's on this side. Just slowly sipping on a fuck up.
Okay. And Timvol is where in relation? Is he like in the middle?
He's
or?
in like the middle.
Okay.
I don't like that man.
Do you say that out loud?
I do. And I sort of nod in his direction. I sort of like shake my drink out. Like go over there.
Why? Why don't you like him?
He just watches Velphie the whole time we're in here.
He has not looked at Velphie
I just don't like him.
this time.
He stinks and I hate him.
Wow. Have you talked to him?
I have. I tried. I tried to charm him. I felt like a good idea at the time.
Was it
didn't
not
work.
a good idea? No. Okay.
Well, in my experience, once you do that to someone, they tend to remember it afterwards. Most don't like it. They feel like they've been sort of tricked in a way. So
I'm messing with people's heads. I can understand that they would react negatively.
yeah, having your head messed with definitely leaves you in a bit of a spot.
yeah, I'll admit I may have, by doing that, may have skipped the first couple steps in what would have been a good plan. So perhaps I won't take that route, but I don't trust him.
Do we need to talk to him or throw him out or
I mean, if anyone else wants to talk, I mean, anyone's welcome to go talk to him. I think I'll keep my distance, but I don't know. Just a hunch, I guess.
Probably better that you keep your distance anyway, Professor, if you've already...
Yeah, I don't want to go.
I mean, I'm curious in how he would react to you. But that's just my morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
Well,
Now that that would be kind of... I mean, and the worst thing that happens is he starts something, and then it gets finished.
what is Beltov's stature physically?
So Beltov is a drow, longer white hair pulled up into like a half man bun. You will notice he's almost like got a ranger's attire.
He's a drow. All I gotta do is say, meet me outside at noon.
Hey!
No offense.
Whoa.
No.
Professor, saying no offense after you've said something generally offensive to people doesn't stop the whole thing.
I thought
It's okay, he's drunk.
Friedrich is visibly inebriated now, but I thought it was sort of like, it canceled out something offensive. It's like when you say with all due respect and then say something very disrespectful.
Professor, I'm so glad you teach, anatomy and not
I don't teach ethics.
English.
I don't teach philosophy or common or.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you're not a common professor. Professor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not thinking clearly. I just don't like that person. But perhaps because I'm not thinking clearly, whatever plans I'm orchestrating are best left for another day.
It's definitely worth keeping an eye on because have I seen him have has he been nursing one drink this entire time that he's been in the bar?
He has.
Can I see roughly how full the drink is? Is he actually drinking it, or is it just like a
Give me a perception check.
Look at me, I'm drinking. Look at me, I'm drinking.
That is smart. Yeah.
I feel like I'm reasonably perceptive. Oh, that's a 17.
Very little of it's gone.
Aren't there many drow in the city?
You would know that topside, no. But there are a lot of drow in the underground.
That makes sense.
He's definitely, if he's actually here to drink, he's taking a really long time with that one fuck up.
Maybe he's waiting for someone.
Or he's here gathering information.
I wonder what he would do.
There's no better place to gather information than around a bunch of drunk people.
Is Velphie back by now?
I'd say Velphie's back by now.
And we're all just staring at this.
Just look at him over there. Breathing.
So you all are looking at him?
Oh, I wasn't looking. I was.
Dahlia.
I looked long enough to look at his drink, and then I've been just kind of talking to the table.
He's going
Dahlia's
to.
staring.
You're going to notice he looks over at y'all's table as his eyes are just slowly just watching everybody, and they're going to hit your table, and he's going to notice, and you're just going to see him go hi.
Mm-hmm. And she'll just kind of give a little sup nod.
He's going to turn
and not break eye contact.
You're going to see a little bit of pink come across his cheeks for a second before he and then goes back to sipping his drink, and he starts very awkwardly just watching the tug of war.
I'm still just staring.
Well, perhaps he was here for the competition after all.
Maybe he wants to join. Maybe that's his lifelong dream, to be a slimy,
big, sweaty,
person.
slimy man.
Yeah.
And y'all hear a bunch of like hollers as somebody hits the floor in the tug of war bit, and they're like covered in the, like, you know, taking the bar mat and dumping it in the floor as they like slip in it and just fall into all of this liquor and drinks and stuff like that.
Disgusting.
Oh, so they're like playing tug of war over like
The bar
just
mat, yep.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah,
And
so
they're
all of the
greased
like
up.
kind of like, you know, when you go to a
Yum.
bar and you like take the mat and you dump it, all the liquids come out. That's what they're
All of the leftover alcohol.
that's what they're getting dumped into.
Ooh.
I got 10 gold pieces. You hear somebody squeal.
That was belt off. Gotta blend in. 10 gold.
No, y'all just hear somebody just squeal that, and like, as if you look over there, you'll also notice the man who was like really interested in talking about bodies, the old man, who like was about to have a heart attack when he was talking to Professor Friedrich over there, like, you know, very shakily. Ooh.
Oh, weird old man.
I'm gonna get up and walk over to the old man.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'll take that bet.
Well, I just won 10 gold pieces. What bet are you making?
Oh, I thought you meant you were. I'm sorry. I don't know how any of this works.
So drunk.
This is the first time I've ever gambled with anything in my life.
Oh, okay. If you want to gamble, there's two humans on one side. They look like two brothers, dressed in a very casual barbarian look. And then there is a blue dragonborn and an orc on the other side. Oh, who do you want to make a bet on? Or do you want to make a bet at all, since you said you're not a gambling man?
Let me see if I can do this.
Oh, or better yet, do you want to join?
I'm not in my greasy rope tugging prime, unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
Those
it could
years
be
have
fun.
long left me. Oh, I don't know about that. I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on the lead greasy brother.
Okay, the lead greasy brother. You're just gonna hear. I'm just gonna rage and pull. This is so much fun. I'm so excited they allow us to do this in the corner. And it's just like his fun time. He gets to play big beefy boy in the corner.
Hearing that, I turn to the old man and say, 10 gold that the brothers win. Those that appear to be brothers. I don't know their genealogy.
Okay, they actually are brothers. All right, well, I'll take that bet because I think the Dragonborn and the Orc are gonna win. And so how tug of war works, whoever, it's rollies with two different dice that I have right here.
Rollies!
And
Rollies.
the one
It's
who
one
wins,
person rollies.
Yeah, and the person who wins 3 times, or, you know, beats rollies, is the one that wins the match. So first one, the brothers win, as the brothers yank the orc and the dragonborn 1 pace forward. And then you'll notice the dragonborn and the orc pull right back, and the brothers' feet start to slide. Then the orc and the dragonborn do it again, and they are sliding the 2 brothers slowly towards the center of the mat. And you will notice with 1 more tug, the orc and the dragonborn are able to pull the brothers face down into the bar mat that was down there. And the 2 brothers are like, "Oh, okay, rage isn't working. I don't like you." And the other 2 are like, "Pay up." And as the old man that's standing next to you also does the hand, like, "Maybe you'll have
better luck betting on something else.
I will reach into my pouch and pull out 10 gold pieces and slap them begrudgingly in his sweaty palm.
I got 10 gold pieces!
And I'll walk back to the table. Never gamble, ever. You will only lose and be disappointed. How's everyone
However,
doing?
the person who won against you is not disappointed.
So gambling
is-
is both good and bad. Got it.
There's a lesson to be learned in here somewhere, but I don't know what it is.
Ruin, give me a perception check.
Oh boy. That is a 10.
You don't notice it.
Oh, okay.
Perception check fails.
I don't notice something.
It's like perception check failed above your head. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss?
Well, shit.
I hate that sound in Boulder's Gate. What?
Someone
did
bring
I
Shadowheart
miss?
over. She's got the good perception.
She can't hit a thing, but she can find the stuff.
Yes.
Well, so Velphie, she's going to raise her glass and she's going to say, to our old friends and to our new friend, here's to us and to a damn good time. And then she's going to down it.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
I guess I'll
Jokey.
I'll finish my drink too. And
That is a 13.
13. You get, like, you're still in the happy buzzed.
that was a 9 for Ruin.
You're slowly getting past buzzed.
It happens. I'm not buzzed enough to bet on 2 humans against a dragonborn and an orc, but hey.
Are you buzzed enough to join them?
No.
Come on, you're a big guy.
I am a big guy, but I'm not that kind of big guy. Those are barbarians.
Oh, no.
Not strong.
I just think it would be funny.
I'm sure the only way I'm doing it is if the professor does it.
Hey, I can only imagine the look on Dalmit's face when I tell him I can't go on the next mission because I've pulled my back grease wrestling. in a
Grease
bar
wrestling with 2 men.
with 4 other strangers in a bar. That's probably the clearest thought I've had all night. No, I don't think it's for me. Not tonight.
I'm good.
Boo.
If we survive against the cleric beast, and,
Yes, if we come back, I will grease wrestle in the beer. Gross. That
Okay,
is a
I will-
statement that I just made.
I will hold you to that.
This is
I
the
will
first
bet
time
10 gold on you.
This is the first time I've ever hoped I'm gonna die on a mission.
Well, maybe
Isn't
if people hear that you killed this cleric beast, they'll be too afraid to wrestle you.
See?
Also true.
It's a
Worth
good
it.
point. Could bill you as the cleric beast slayer.
Oh no, you're getting in there too, Professor.
Anyway,
Cleric beast slayers.
speaking of anything else, did I, in the cheers just now, did I notice, did Dahlia finish her drink or even drink her drink at all?
Oh, during the cheers? Yeah, she probably would drink it. I just didn't roll for it.
Oh, I was just being mysterious.
Just didn't roll for drunk.
I got 16.
Yeah, you're feeling just fine as you finish that. But as the night continues, is there anything else you would like to do at the bar?
I'm spent. I've lost money. I've gotten drunk. It's all in an evening.
Did Beltov notice the professor and have any reaction?
Give me a perception check.
I'm sure I wasn't subtle.
You were being subtle when we first got there, but alcohol make less subtle.
Ooh, I'm good at perception. And, well, I get disadvantage of the daylight, so this is not daylight.
This is not daylight. No, you are kind of weaning into the nighttime hours.
18.
With an 18, you'll notice as Friedrich gets up to talk to the old man and the tug of war bit, he just kind of looks at Friedrich. And like there's just a look of what the fuck are you doing on his face.
Just make sure that he doesn't do anything.
He, from his body language from the moment, he doesn't look like he's going to get up and fight him.
Okay.
More so like just, what are you doing?
Like, why are you doing that? Why are you?
Like you're
It's
going to
culture.
get knocked out one of these days because like, you know, you're in a tug of war match and everybody's hooping and hollering and he's a short little old man.
It's a cultural experience.
Yeah, as the night starts to wind down, the hooping and hollering slow down. The barbarians pick their rope up. They clean their mess up. And you hear them like, thanks, Timbo! As they like walk out and like,
He's just like, yeah, I can't wait for the next tug of war match. I like watching. That's kind of fun. Especially when people, you know, spend more money because they're drinking.
slowly things are starting to wind down. People are starting to leave. It's getting a little quiet in here. You will all notice Beltov finishes his drink, puts 2 gold on the counter, and walks out. And the little bard that was just playing in the corner starts packing up her stuff and starts heading out as well.
Well, looks like people are heading home.
Yeah, it's probably about that time. We have the day tomorrow.
Yeah, and apparently you have to teach tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a couple things I
I've
wanna
always
do.
wanted to audit a class.
So, I mean, you are all welcome if you're interested in the common anatomy.
I'm interested.
That's allowed?
I mean,
I don't.
if it's, I mean, I'm in charge of my classroom, so I can allow guests, I suppose. I haven't done it often before. Most people aren't that curious, but I like it.
What-
I like that
you
people are taking an
teach-
interest.
Anatomy?
I do. Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, the different parts of the body, what keeps people alive, what would have the opposite effect.
Humanoid
Things of that
anatomy
nature.
or other anatomy?
Humanoid. Yeah, you know, it's mostly what we're familiar with.
Yeah, I'll try to be there.
I'm not sure what time it is. I'll check my itinerary.
Whatever time you would like.
It's at 11 in the morning. 11 a.m. in the morning.
All right. I will try to be there.
I would be honored. I don't know what I'm lecturing on. I'll figure that out tonight. Tomorrow
You're-
morning.
you're
I
the
have
professor.
notes somewhere.
You're the professor.
That is true. I will profess something at 11 a.m. tomorrow. But I need to get my beauty rest. As you can tell, I'm short on it. And But you're all welcome to stay here if you would like, of course.
Well, well, I'm gonna be staying here anyway. What?
Is this where you have found your lodgings in the city?
So I've rented a room from Timville a couple of times. Don't see why I shouldn't again.
Makes perfect sense.
Well, I think I'm gonna head back to the dorm. Like probably catch up on some work that I've been putting off because I've been saving people.
I'm sure you'll get an extension on whatever assignments you've got.
Yeah, it's
I'm not-
extenuating circumstances and the like.
Yes. So I will be heading out as well.
Dahlia, pleasure to meet you. Assuming you have somewhere to stay.
Yep. Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, yes, it was wonderful meeting you, Dahlia. I cannot wait for more time together so we can get to know each other. And yeah.
Sounds good.
And with that, you all are able to head back to your abodes. Is there anything you'd like to do while you were heading home, or anything you'd like to do when you get home?
I feel like Ruin's gonna make a point of making sure that his door is as locked as it can be.
Okay. Give me a survival check. You think it's very
Yeah.
well locked. You feel really confident in it.
I'm sure that seems good.
Dahlia, anything you'd like to do on the way home?
Before Ruin leaves, she'll try to say, Father wants more information on you.
And he did not command that you could not specifically say that. So it goes through.
Yeah. She'll just say it quietly and then just turn to leave. She'll point to herself, kind of like, and then leave.
Ruin will make a mental note to maybe pay a visit to. I've got all day tomorrow.
And you'll also have a class tomorrow.
Yeah.
Friedrich, is there anything you do on the way home?
In my current state, no. There's things I have planned for tomorrow, but I didn't plan ahead tonight, so no.
And Velphie, as you're making your way back to the dorms, give me a perception check. At advantage.
Ooh, okay. 20.
Natural 20?
No,
Oh.
sorry, I was grabbing another one.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay, so at advantage, you said perception.
Mhm.
It's 18, 21.
When you're heading back to your dorm, you see a red tiefling holding a bouquet of lilies, sitting there very awkwardly, and he just kind of keeps looking up at the sky, looking back down, and looking like he's about to stand up and leave. And you get the idea he's been sitting there for a while.
Aww. Do I recognize this?
You do
Tiefling?
recognize this tiefling is on tier.
Okay. All right. So as Velphie gets closer, she's gonna kind of squint her eyes a bit and say, Bontier?
And he's like gonna awkwardly like put the the bouquet behind his back for just a second and pull it out and hold them out. This is this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And when like he's stuttering, you do get a whiff of your favorite scent before it quickly goes away.
Huh. Are you wearing a cologne of sorts, or?
Oh yeah, I like to smell good. It's that's something I pride myself in. My mother always says if you smell good, you're doing good. So I tried to. I'm making a fool of myself. I am sorry. And he kind of just like starts to like walk away for a second, and then he's like, "No, I've been coming here every day for the past like 3 days. There's a ball coming up. I've never asked this, but I wanted to ask if you would like to go with me."
Oh my God. I am so flattered. You see Velphie, she's turning even more pink than she already is. And she's gonna say, You've been coming here for the last 3 days?
I didn't know and you'd come back home. I knew you were at the dorms, so I've just been... Yeah, that sounds pretty weird, doesn't it?
No, it's, well, no, it's fine.
I didn't know what dorm room to go to and knock on your door, so I've just been kind of sitting out here. But these are for you, and he's going to give you some pink lilies.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And actually, I just got my dress today, and well, if you want, we can match.
Oh, and he's red already, but you're gonna notice like a deep burgundy come across his face. Is that normally what people do?
Well, it was suggested to me by Ophelia. She asked if I had a date, and I said no, but now that I have a date, we might as well match if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So she's gonna, we still have the dress, so she's gonna show Antir the dress, say,
"Ooh, that's very pretty."
So this is what it looks like, and Ophelia said that she would recognize or remember the dress, so you could just tell her.
Oh, okay. Then he's gonna like pull out a little notepad and like take a few notes on it before he puts it back. Well, this is exciting.
Yeah, well, you want to come back to the dorm, or and show you where it is, so that way you can place the lilies in the right spot next time.
I mean, if you're comfortable.
Why not? I mean, it might be a little messy. I haven't been there in about a week. I've been busy saving the food, but...
Well, we greatly appreciate that. That way we don't starve. That is very, very nice. And you're going to kind of notice that he is calming down a little bit and relaxing, because he was super nervous when you showed up. And now he's kind of tempering himself, and you're getting more of his like actual excitement.
Okay. But yeah. I'll show you to my dorm.
Cool. Never done this before. Let me escort you to your room. And he's gonna do like a slight little bow and hold his arm out like this.
She's just gonna put her arm right through it.
You got a lead. I don't know where to go. I also don't know how to dance either, so you're gonna have to teach me how to do that.
That's fine. It'll be an experience for the both of us. It's my first ball, so I'm excited, and we'll get through this together. She's gonna start leading, as she's saying that, she's walking him towards the direction of the dorm.
And you both are able to go to the dorm room. as he's just kind of like idly chit-chatting and asking you how your day is and like how is the mission and did you have any favorite parts?
Okay, she's gonna, give her answers. Talk about the party afterwards, the mind flayer, all of the delicious food that she had, and describe the food in detail to really get her point across about how delicious the food was over there.
Ooh, I need to ask for more missions over there.
Yeah. And they're the kindest. They're the kindest people.
I definitely need to ask for more missions over there.
Yeah.
You both are able to reach your dorm room door.
All right.
Well, now I know where to drop the lilies off next time.
Yes, this is my door.
It's a very pretty door.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, I am very excited to go dancing with you.
Me too. This was a pleasant surprise. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Glad I could be a pleasant surprise.
You're always pleasant.
He's just going to kind of blush for a second. Well, thank you. Well, you have made it safely to your dorm room. I know where to drop more lilies off whenever I get them. I don't know what your favorite flower is, though. What should I get for next time?
Have you ever seen alliums?
Alliums? No, what is that?
They are these purple, tiny little purple flowers in a cluster in a sphere.
Ooh, alliums. I will keep my eye out open for those.
They're very interesting. Probably, I don't know why I like them so much, but I just think they're interesting. They're different.
Huh. Well, I will definitely get you a set of those for next time.
Oh, thanks.
You're very welcome. Well, I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will go work on getting an outfit that matches yours.
All right, and then she's gonna pull him into a hug.
He's gonna seem very shocked at first, but then he's going to like very gently hug you back, and it's very tender. And he's just gonna like place a little kiss on your cheek as he pulls away. And
She is like red.
Good night.
Bye. She's gonna smell those lilies.
And as he's walking off, give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 11.
You're gonna see like this little giddy, like jump in the air, clack your heels together before he goes around the corner.
She's gonna smile and head back into her dorm.
And with that, you all are able to take your long rest, feel very refreshed. It's a deep sleep this time. And no dreams or anything like that. And you all wake up at whatever time you would like. Is there anything you all would like to do before you go to class?
Before I meet up with everybody, I would like to go to Seraphina's shop
Okay.
and ask her for information about Vana.
Okay. So you're able
Ask
to
her to look for, yeah.
you're able to walk to Seraphina's. It's pretty quiet for the morning. You got a little bit of hustle and bustle at the marketplace, but not too terribly much. Not yet, at least. And you walk into Seraphina's, and she's just sitting on the bar of her like shop, the little counter, with her legs crossed, just staring at the door. I was wondering when you'd come back.
Yeah, I had to make my way back at some point. I just, new party members, you don't want to be up front with them right away, or put all of the cards on the table, so to speak.
I understand that. Secrets hold power.
That they do. Sometimes too much.
Oh, I would know very much about that.
Speaking of one of those, secrets, would you be able to, I'm not expecting you to have information, but one of they're reapers, right? The ones that are the are they nobody, nothing, what the ones that are wearing the masks. My brain is just not connecting.
They're the unknowns.
The unknowns. So when we first were put together as a circle, we had a unknown by the name of Vana.
Uh-huh.
And then suddenly, partway through a mission, she disappeared and was replaced, which I know isn't a regular occurrence. And we happened to run into a one of the members of the Druid Grove is her sister.
Oh, well, that's quite spicy.
So I was inquiring as to if you would be able to find information on where she may have ended up, or
I can look into my sources and see what I can find. However, I have heard rumor that a little unknown poked her nose where it did not belong. Somewhere in the clever slug.
okay.
I don't know if that's the unknown you were looking for, but keep an eye
I mean,
out.
she did have a way about her that she would dig for information. So
Well, you probably know this better than anyone. You put your nose where it doesn't belong around here.
ain't that the truth? Well, thank you.
Of course, you did give me enough, though, that you could ask something else, depending on what you're looking for.
I'm not sure yet, and I don't want to hog all of the information for myself. I'm sure the other party members might have, so I want to at least ask them before I start using up our goodwill.
It's very kind of you. Not many people would do that.
Yeah, well, they've saved my life. I've saved theirs. They're more family than what I came here with.
Oh, you mean Ignatius. Very greasy man, isn't he?
On so many levels.
No one
didn't-
likes
I-
Ignatius. Except for
I didn't-
Ignatius.
I didn't see it when I first got brought in, but
Well, of course, a doe-eyed young man getting promised all kinds of things.
and a doe-eyed young man who didn't remember anything about his past.
Oh,
It's
you were the
easy to
perfect
mold.
victim.
Yeah, it was really easy to mold somebody when you have free reign. We'll definitely be back.
I'll give you this little piece. You're not the first.
I am gathering that. I'm starting to think he's got his hooks into someone else.
Oh, he's got his hooks into many. But is there anything else I can do for you, dearie?
Not at the moment, thank you.
Of course.
And
You
I'll
have
make
any
my
more
way
juicy
to-
information? You know where to come.
and Ruin will kind of, as he's walking out, kind of just put his hand on what's left of the bottle of water, because we had one drink of the bottle left, and just kind of, I'm gonna hold on to that and make my way to class.
And while Ruin's making his way to class, Dahlia, is there anything you'd like to do with your morning?
Just probably try to leave quietly.
Give
As soon
me
as
a stealth check.
Oh. I'm not very good at that. I have it at disadvantage. Oh, one's a nat 20, but the other one is a 12.
A 12. As you're trying to leave, you will notice a beaked mask leaning against the wall. And she says, their heads turned to you.
Is it Raven?
It's Crow.
Crow. Yeah. So I'll just say, good morning.
They look like they want to say something, but their hands kind of go together. And you get a polite little wave. And then she tries to sign something.
I wouldn't understand it, would I?
You would not understand it, but you can make an insight if you would like to see what they are conveying.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Okay. Ooh. 24.
With a 24, they are very gentle with how they're doing their hand signs. And a hand sign it's very loving and almost, you get like a vibe of be careful, good luck, watch your back, stay safe.
I'm gonna go up. And if she allows it, just kind of like gently grip her hands and just kind of give a little nod.
And when you grasp her hands, even through gloves, you can feel wrinkles. And they are going to take your hand and pat it and rub it before they walk off.
Okay. Oof. She'll just stand there a moment and then kind of gather herself, push the emotions down and continue on to class.
And with that, Velphie, is there anything you would like to do with your morning?
So Velphie was in a very nice, deep sleep. Slept through her alarm. So she, she's got some drool coming down her cheek, or her hair's all over the place. And I would say that she barely wakes up with enough time to make it to class because of how just conked out she was.
Perfect. So Velphie's rushing to class. Friedrich, is there anything you're doing before your class starts?
Yes. And I don't know if I would bump into Ruin or not, but I also wanted to go to Seraphina's. I don't know who I would bump into. It's like we're all out and about a bit.
How early is Friedrich getting up to go to Seraphina's?
Friedrich slept in, so probably like 6 a.m.
Ruin, what time did Ruin go?
Oh god. I feel like I went like, I would say right in that 6 a.m. area, just because I wanted to get there with less prying eyes in the area. So
Okay, with that, I'd say as Ruin is leaving and Friedrich is coming up, y'all both walk past each other.
Good morning, Ruin. How are you?
Hey. Good morning, Professor.
Feeling okay?
Yeah. I'm not gonna, I'm assuming you're probably going in to get some information.
I am,
or to
yes.
at least inquire. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've got a little. I don't want to I don't want to like have to share it 8,000 times. So once the group is together after you teach your wonderful class today,
Of
um,
course.
definitely got some information to relay, and we've still got plenty of goodwill, it seems, with Seraphina from what we brought in. So
That's good to know. And I'm excited to hear that everyone is still coming to class. Well, I guess you're the only one I've heard from today, but I'm assuming everyone else will.
I assume everybody else is going to come, and if they don't, then hey, you know. And then
Then
like Ruin's gonna like halfway through that sentence just start walking away. Like, yeah.
ta-ta. And I'll continue on into Seraphina's shop.
And when you go in, she is still sitting on the bar. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Great.
Perfect.
Great. Do you ever sleep?
She's just going to wink.
It's as much of an answer as it is not one. I came to follow up on our discussion from, I guess, maybe a week or so ago. The last we spoke, I left you with no small task, and I'm sure it's not just written down on a book somewhere. But did you happen to learn anything about the type of, how do I put it? What we were discussing last time, the soul work, as it were.
Ah, yes. And she's going to like hop off the bar and go to the back, and you hear some rummaging when she comes back with a really thick book.
I love a thick book, and that one looks particularly thick. And there's an extra TH on that.
Yes, this
Thick.
is thick. And she's going to hand it to you, and there's no title. There's nothing on the binding. It's just a leather covered book.
I'm going to open the front cover.
The front title says Soul Work.
I'm just going to sort of fan the first 20 pages or so and smell them. Does it smell old?
This sounds, or it's not sounds. This smells extremely, extremely old.
The title is very apt. Have you had a chance to dive into this much?
Not quite yet. I have a lot more on my plate than being able to read something that thick. I like information given to me. I'll read it occasionally, but that is a whole different monster that I kind of find boring.
Well, I certainly wouldn't dare ask where you got it, but can you at least tell me you have reason to believe that it is more than just someone's ravings about this, and there might be some real substance here?
Yes, my informant says that is from, what was the name? Aurelia, the School of Necromancy, which should have been burned with all the other books.
Yet it was not. And do I know of what she's referring to?
You remember Gibby talking about other wizarding schools? And she just gave you the name of the one that was underground in the north.
Aurelia?
Aurelia.
Aurelia. It's the first time I've heard that name.
It is.
I appreciate what you've done. I can't remember. Did I pay you last time, or do I owe you now?
We can count that towards the goodwill that your friend was talking about, but if you want more information, you can always pay me for it.
So I'm thinking Friedrich would not know what Ruin asked about.
Mm-mm.
But what would Friedrich want to know? There is someone about town who rubs me the wrong way. Are you familiar with the name Beltov?
How much you willing to pay?
I sort of reach my hand into my coin purse. Here I can see Friedrich sort of thinking to himself, sort of weighing his options. And I pull out 40 gold.
Oh, sweet thing. You gotta pay me more than that.
It makes it sound like you have something to say about this individual.
I always have information on everybody.
What would you charge for information on me?
If you want to give me the 40 gold pieces, I can tell you. But if you want more on this Beltov character, it's going to cost you a little bit more than that.
I know you don't mean this, but it does hurt to know that his information is more expensive than mine.
Well, you're asking for information about yourself.
Perhaps it is on who's asking. Yes, that is a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out another 40.
Trust me, though, if somebody wants information on you, it's going to cost a lot more than that. I like you.
Likewise.
But for 80, if you add another 20 on, I'll give you a little bit of details on this Beltov.
I'm in too deep at this point. I pull another 20.
Oh, perfect. And she's going to take the 100 gold pieces and stick it in her pocket. Well, for 100 gold pieces, Beltov is originally from here. Little science experiment. A mask helped get him out.
He's originally from where?
From here.
Sydonea? Why would a mask help get him out?
Well, that costs more.
Why would he want to get out of Sydonea?
Well, when you treat it like a little science experiment.
Was he in the Order?
That's actually a hard question to answer.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid I'm a teacher's salary. That's about all I can afford. But that's good to know. I appreciate your willingness to help me on this. And perhaps, if we continue to find success in the field, I can once again fill your coffers with my gold as you fill my head with your information.
How about this? I'll do you one better if you can tell me why he's back. I'll give you more information.
Why Beltov is back?
Mm-hmm.
What I know, which is probably something you know already, is that he spends his evenings in the bar and he watches people.
Sounds like my kind of man.
Well, perhaps he learns a lot from it, but the first time we met him, his eyes were glued to a young pupil of mine, and I thought it was a little bit odd. And when I confronted him about it, he was very standoffish. and very guarded. And I don't know, call it a hunch.
Who is this young little pupil of yours?
Velphie came in the first time we came in here, right? So she
Yep.
yeah. So you've met Velphie before, our very pink friend.
Karis and Lorelai's little one.
Is that so? It sounds like you know who her parents were. This Karis and Lorelai, you said?
Sweetheart, I know everything about everyone. And if I don't, I find out.
So, any idea why Beltov may take an interest in her in particular?
Now that, I'm not sure. But I will say, Beltov is not of a violent nature. Not towards good people, anyway.
Good people. What would you consider good in this city of ours?
A little sunshine that tries to make everything a little bit joyous. Consider that a good person.
Well, you've been very helpful, as always.
As always.
I'll leave you with one tiny piece of information.
Oh.
Feel free to make money off of it. Yesterday morning, I spoke to a goat.
Did you now? Did it have anything interesting to say?
Well, that will cost you. But
I like the way you work. And she's going to look at the windows. But I think you have a class shortly, don't you?
I do. Yes, I'm sorry. I got lost in the time. I appreciate it, as always. Thank you very much for your business. And I'm sure I will be back to speak with you, particularly after I read through this tome you have just given me. So thank you again.
I look forward to seeing you again soon. Always love when your circle comes in.
Glad to hear that.
Oh, don't
Another
worry.
circle.
When I like you, your information's a little bit more expensive to get.
And I'm just sort of like back out of the door. Not that I don't trust Serafina, I just feel odd having her out of my sight.
Toodles.
Goodbye. And then I go to the university.
All right. So you all are going to the university. And this is a part of the Order's campus. So you all know that the Order has this big gate in the front and these iron-like fences that are extremely tall all the way around it. The very front building is the main center. It's where you get all of your missions, your orders, things of that nature. It's where the big crystal is. And then off to the side, you have the dorms. And then off to the other side, you have your school where classes are taking place. Did you tell them where your classroom is? Because I think Velphie is the only one that knows where to go.
Oh. Honestly, I don't know because I was drinking. I would like to think so. Is there any type of like bulletin board or anything that says what the lecture halls would be for?
I'd say at the very front there is a bulletin board that reads where locations are and what professors are in what rooms.
So hopefully they're observant enough to find that. Because I probably would have forgotten to mention it.
Dahlia, Ruin, Velphie, what are y'all doing?
So Velphie is hastily making her way down to the classroom. So she is, it's like, I don't know, maybe, let's say like 10:45-ish. You know, she doesn't want to be late. So she's just walking up to the university right now, trying to like quickly make her way over to Professor's class.
Okay. Professor Friedrich, what time do you think you would be arriving?
Probably about a quarter till.
Quarter
Yeah.
till? What about Dahlia and Ruin?
She'll probably get to the building and then realized, oh shoot, didn't think that one through.
I think Ruin would probably be doing the same thing. Like walk in, be like start walking up to the school and be like, wait a minute. I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
So I will say Ruin and Dahlia, y'all come up at the same time and are both lost.
Huh.
Do you know where his room is? 'Cause
No,
I have no idea.
I've never been in this building.
Yeah, me either.
Do we just start walking?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe we'll run into Velphie on our way through, or otherwise we can just start opening doors, and I'm sure that'll be a surprise for everybody.
Right, yeah. We'll do that.
Roll me a D100.
Oh boy!
Both of us?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a hot minute since I did it.
A D100 is like, that's a
36.
I got a 51.
With a 36, the first door y'all open, you hear a different language coming out of the room. And there's a
Nope.
there's a bunch of people sitting watching this dragonborn professor speak in this really hearty language. And they hear the door open and they just all kind of go, they look over at y'all. And in a harsh language, the dragonborn waves.
What language is it?
Draconic.
Okay, I don't know that one. So excited. And
Sorry. Looking for Professor Friedrich's class.
Edler's class?
Professor Edler's class.
Anatomy?
This dragonborn is going to like speak in Draconic again.
Oh.
And then go, you need to go that way. And he's pointing down the hall you guys were going down.
Okay. Thank you. We go.
Thank you.
Your thanks. And you get the idea. He didn't know how to say you're welcome. So he said your thanks. And y'all are able to close the door. And with a 51, y'all keep walking down the hallway and y'all open another door. And someone has a picture of this beast with a bunch of tentacles.
Oh.
And they're pointing to like parts of it and explaining what they do as you all open the door. A very slim, proper elven woman is teaching this class, and she hears the door open and she looks over at y'all. Are y'all supposed to be here?
Professor Edler's class on anatomy?
Oh, well, y'all are close. It's 2 doors down on the right. You're in the science wing, at least. Welcome to school.
Like,
She'll
This
kind
is,
of straighten up and be like,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I'm at
like,
school.
Ruin's gonna stop for a minute and be like, what is this beast called? I don't know what a displacer beast is, right? Or do I know what a displacer beast is?
You know what a displacer beast is because you fought
Oh, okay.
one, but that is not what's on the board.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just the tentacles. That's
It's
what
like
my brain
tentacles with
was.
eyes.
Oh, never mind.
I hope you have a
Oh, that would-
wonderful class.
Thank you.
You too.
Oh, thank you. And she's going to go back to teaching as all the kids or the students are writing notes. And you do notice that the students in this class are ranging between like 13 to 16.
This is
Okay.
high school, not college. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Next
I will
door.
head to where she told us to go.
And when you all go down 2 doors down, I will say you two are there first, and Professor Friedrich's class is starting to fill up. People in this class are ranging from about like 17 to 21, around that age. And the front row is already really full. There's some kids like scribbling down some things, and they're like, "Did you hear Professor Friedrich's coming back? Professor Edler's coming back. We finally get our teacher back. We've oh gosh, we've missed Professor Edler. The substitute hasn't been very fun." And you hear like sniffling and like second row.
Yeah, I really miss Professor Friedrich. He's been gone a while. I'm really excited for him to come back. Maybe my grades will go up now. He did promise to tutor me. At least I think he promised to tutor me.
Sammy, hush. Everything's okay. As everybody's just kind of like chit-chatting together. And the back row is completely open.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I would make my way to a back.
I'll follow because she doesn't know what she's doing.
I'm just like, when in doubt, sit in the back, I guess.
And around this time, Velphie and Friedrich are making their way in. And Friedrich, would you like to explain what your classroom looks like?
Yes, I would say, from how we would understand, sort of like an old school wooden type of tiered lecture hall, sort of a amphitheater type of setup, with like the rows of like straight desks, like it's not individual desks, it's like a big connected table with chairs behind it, and probably like 3 or 4 cascading levels like that, with a big chalkboard at the front.
And where would Velphie be sitting as she's rushing to get to class?
Velphie's she's gonna rush in and she's gonna scan the room, see if she can find her circle mates because they said they would be here. She's gonna wave to a few of her friends. Just say, "Hey, hi, how are you guys doing?"
Oh, Velphie's back too. And you hear Sammy.
Velphie? Hi! Hello!
And then the person sitting next to Sammy is just gonna whack him on the back of the head. Come on, man.
What? I'm just really excited.
And as they start like going back to taking some notes, and when you're scanning the room, you notice in the far left-hand corner Z and X.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna walk over to them actually. And I'm gonna say, "Hey, I didn't know that you guys were gonna be here today."
Oh, hello.
And this is Z talking with his big 6.5-foot armor set as he's just like really excited, and you can see his armored hands like just kind of bouncing back. We heard Professor Friedrich's back today, and he said we could come to a class, and we really like to learn, so we wanted to come to class. I've never been to class before. I didn't even know this was really an option. Yeah, we really wanted to see Professor Elder teach. We're really excited. I've never been to class before.
Yeah, no, you're going to enjoy it. Professor Edler is a wonderful teacher, explains things super well, totally open to any questions that you have, willing to explain whatever it is. He's the best.
Oh, so I need to start writing down questions. And you see Z starting to like very frantically write in this little notebook as Axe taps his back. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's okay. You don't have to frantically write everything. It's all right. Might miss something if you're frantically writing. Oh, that's a good point. And he's going to put his like pen down and kind of like sit at attention.
And then she's gonna ask Axel. That's his name, right?
His name's Axel, yes.
Okay. Have you been playing any music at all, or?
I got a little lute on sale, but I can't quite. And he's gonna like take his glove off, and like you see the mechanical fingers. I can't get my fingers to really move the way I want to. I feel like I need to get them oiled.
That would probably help make them run smoother, because with the lute you got to move your fingers pretty quickly depending on the type of music that you're playing. But just take it slow, just step by step, figure out those chords first, get the chords down.
I've definitely been working on it.
God, I'm so proud of you. That's awesome.
He's gonna have like a little pink. Thanks.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy the class. I will be in the back, and she spots Dahlia and Ruin in the back row. So, yeah. So
Thanks,
enjoy.
Miss Velphie!
Of course. And
And
she's gonna make her way.
And these two kids sit at attention like they're so excited for class. And Professor Friedrich, what are you doing?
So as Friedrich walks up to the front of the room, you'll see a mage hand sort of apparate by him and pick up a piece of chalk and start drawing out a skeleton on the chalkboard. While he's sort of shuffling papers at the podium, it's like behind him doing all of that. And then I just want to look out across the room and scan it. Do I see everyone you just described?
Yes. And one of the younger girls in your class, we've missed you. We didn't like the substitute. He was not nice.
A substitute?
Well, yeah, how else are we supposed to have classes? Your own missions, they had to have a substitute come in, and he was kind of dumb.
What was his name?
I didn't even take notice because of how stupid he was. He's not a Professor Eldler. We don't like him.
Well, I'm sure he gave it his best. I'll have to inquire as to who it may have been.
You're going to hear one of the guys. No, he didn't.
Okay, well, no need to worry about that now. He's gone. Only say good about people who are not here. He's not here. Good. So let's move on. So it's been a while. I'm a little bit rusty. I pull out a small little metal stick and flick it out. It's one of those telescopic pointer sticks. And I just launch into the lesson, and you sort of hear Friedrich start off. I'm not going to give a whole lesson because I don't know anatomy, but you sort of hear him start off with, the foot bone is connected to the leg bone, and the leg bone is connected to the knee bone, and then it sort of fades into the lecture.
And as you're giving lecture, all of the students in this class are paying very close attention and making sure that they are all scribbling their notes, drawing whatever you draw. And like they are full attention. You can hear Z kind of clanking a little bit because he's writing so fast with his armor set. He's making a little noise and he'll kind of like stop for a second to make sure he's not bothering anybody. And then he goes right back to it. And what are you three doing as Professor Friedrich is teaching?
Better be taking notes. I'm just kidding.
I think Velphie would actually be paying attention because she loves to learn about things. So She whips out her little notebook and is also drawing along with the professor and writing down notes and just learning about bones.
Ollie is just sitting and listening. She doesn't have anything to.
Ruin didn't think to be like, hey, take notes. That's what school do.
You guys want some paper?
Dahlia will hesitate and then just say, no, thank you.
Yeah, no,
Fair.
no,
Fair.
no. I'm just gonna enjoy watching the professor in his element.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Thank you.
Of course.
And with that, the lecture comes to a close. Students start to close up their belongings. Professor Friedrich, how would you want to end your class?
I appreciate you all coming today. Unfortunately I will be out again starting tomorrow. Please at least study on your own. Read. It's good for you. Be somewhat nice to whoever they wrangle into substituting for this lecture. And if I don't die, I'll see you next week.
Well, don't die, Professor Friedrich. We'd like to have you back.
Well, I don't intend to, but you know how these things go sometimes.
Well, you've been teaching us anatomy long enough. I think we do know what happens, when you die.
That's good. If you've picked up anything, that's an important one. What happens when the anatomy fails? Yes. What does Sammy look like? What did Sammy look like in the lecture?
Sammy during the lecture was ferociously writing things down and sniffling while he did it, and very quickly trying to take notes, drawing the best he can because he wants to impress you on his next test.
I'd like to walk out into the student body a bit, just walk by Sammy and say, keep up the great work, and then make my way over to Axe and Z.
Oh, me? I picked up a hobby like you told me to.
I turn around. He's piqued my interest. What are you spending your time doing these days?
I have gotten to where I like drawing.
Throwing?
Not throwing, drawing.
Drawing. Oh, I'm sorry. My ears in my age. Drawing. What do you draw?
He's actually going to start rummaging through his bag, and he's going to pull out a landscape drawing of the front of the order. Perfect mimicry.
It's like a realistic style?
Realistic style, and it almost looks like he can draw anything from memory.
You started doing this since the last time you and I spoke a few weeks ago?
Well, I mean, I've drawn for some stuff that you put on the board, but just actually drawing something I kind of want to. Yeah.
You should nurture this. You have a real talent here.
Well, thanks. Think it'll help me become a doctor? Like you?
Actually, probably yes, because when you're in the middle of any type of treatment, you don't often have time, particularly if it's life-threatening, to stop and consult something written down. If you have sort of a photographic memory, it may come in handy. Which it appears you do, because this looks exactly like the front of the Order's headquarters.
Thanks.
Is it a public part of the headquarters? One that he could get to?
It's the very front of the building. So the greenery, the tree, the front of the building, but even the details on the door are very elaborate.
How old is Sammy?
Sammy is about 17.
Okay, never mind. I'm like, go to the bar, watch Beltov. I'm not going to send a teenager to a bar, though. It seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, he's about 17.
Go to a bar for me.
Go to a bar for me. It's cool. Watch people and draw them. Not creepy. It's very good. You're very talented. Definitely keep that up. If you enjoy it, at least. If you don't like it, don't do it. But if you enjoy it, you're very good at it.
Thanks. It's a little stress relieving.
There's no shortage of stress in this world, so it's good to have something like that.
You're telling me.
You do seem stressed the entire time I've ever spoken with you. So it's good to see you found an outlet for that.
He's just gonna grin and kind of like, you see him dancing to himself a little bit.
And as he's gyrating, I'll walk on towards Max and Z.
That was really cool, Professor.
Thank you. I just wanted to let you boys know, and I'll lower my voice a bit for this and say, well, I haven't made any substantial progress in what we discussed. I have come across some materials that I've yet to review that may guide us. So I just wanted to reassure you that it is still at the front of my mind and something I'm working diligently on.
And acts very quietly. You can kind of see like tears starting to prick at the corner of his eyes a little bit. So we might be able to put him into a body? This is actually a possibility?
As I said, I've at least got the first lead. So it's hard to say for certain, but possibly. We shall see.
Axe is gonna nudge Z. Hear that? You might actually be able to taste what a schnickelbaum tastes like.
Hang on to that. Hang on to that. That's a good driving force.
And they're like kind of like talking to each other quietly, very excitedly. Almost like you've given them more hope than they've had in quite a while.
And I will leave them at that and walk over to. I don't know if our circle has sort of grouped up or not, but walk over to wherever they are.
Y'all were sitting together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How did I do? How was it? You can be brutally honest. I'm a little rusty.
I mean, for my
Was
first
it-
day of school, you did great. I don't know what to base it off of, but it was very good.
From all of the school that I've seen, which is today, this was definitely top 3 classes that I've walked into.
I get it. I don't know. The beholder thing was, or she wouldn't know, was the eye stock one was that was kind
Yeah,
of cool.
that I mean, it was interesting.
That was interesting, but we don't really know what that one was about.
But I had no idea that the human feet had that many bones.
Yes, there's a lot of them.
How many was it? I'm sorry.
I think there's like 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Professor, there's
More than
26
one.
bones.
Yes, see, it's always the next generation that will take the torch and run with it. There are 26 bones, and they are called footbone number 1, footbone number 2. And so,
Professor, your class is over. You don't need to continue teaching us.
I'm sorry, it's been I'm a bit rusty. I'm teaching class today. 3 days ago, I was being choked out by some type of primate. So
Yeah,
been quite a week.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I had forgotten about the primates with
Sort of
chains.
scratch my neck like, yeah, I have not forgotten.
I will say,
if you stay away from them, they never choke you.
I haven't seen one since we got back into the city, so that's a good sign.
I will say, Professor, that this was probably one of my favorite lectures that you've given. So you still got it.
Thank you. That it helps. I still enjoy doing this. I know there's not always time for it when the circumstances require us to be out of the city, but I like to do it when I can.
And you do it well.
Get a little bit of a chest puff of pride from this old man.
And at this time, you will notice that y'all are the only ones in the classroom. Everybody has left.
Are there any like papers or anything around? Like,
There might be like some crumpled ones in the trash can, but like no one's left any of their notes. They were very diligent in putting their notes away, but some of them might have messed up on like a piece or two, balled it up and thrown it towards the trash can. So like there's plenty of like balled up papers in there.
okay.
You said there's nobody else in the classroom, right?
There's nobody else in the classroom.
Okay. So this is about as good of a spot as any to share at least a little bit of information that I was able to gather this morning when we ran into each other, Professor.
Oh, yes, you had mentioned that.
Yeah.
I'll look around. I guess I don't see anyone either.
It appears that Vana may have gone looking for information in the underground and may have gotten into trouble or gotten herself into trouble at the Clever Slug.
Ruin, give me a
Which is
history check.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a 20. Nope, 16.
With a 16, you
16.
remember the secret note that you all had decoded recently and you had given to Vana? Mention the clever slug.
Oh, right. That note that we gave her, and we hadn't like analyzed that note at that point, right?
You had not
When you sent it to
analyzed
her?
the note when you sent it to her. Y'all analyzed it
Right.
probably within the last week and a half.
Yep.
And just kind of as a refresher, it said, AA, meet me at the Clever Slug if you are serious.
So if she figured out what the note said and went digging down at the Clever Slug, she may have gotten herself into trouble with who knows?
You may not can tell by looking at me, but I don't get to the underground too often. What is the Clever Slug?
It's the bar. It's far rowdier than the bar up here. That's because that's one of the like two places that I went down there, right? It was that and then
Yep.
Pleasures.
You went to Pleasures
Well,
and the
And
Clever Slug.
I didn't even walk into Pleasures.
No.
I was walked into the Clever Slug.
But you were in the Clever Slug when somebody from Pleasures walked in. So you very much know.
Because it's like they're like right next to each other or
Mhm.
tied together or whatever.
You very much know it's a brothel.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a bar. It's a bar and brothel. It's a B&B.
I've heard of those, of a different variety. Beds are involved, regardless. So Vana had reason to go to the underground.
If
It's
I
odd
mean,
for someone
if
at first station.
if she figured out what that note said, which if she went to the underground, she must have figured out. She must have figured that note out while we were away, and I don't know if somebody had fought or if somebody followed her or if or somebody down there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we'd have time to go looking into that, but we also have to leave tomorrow.
So it is currently about noon, like noon 15. Classes typically last. Would your classes last about an hour?
Yeah, more or less.
If you want them to be longer, you can.
No, I'm an old man. I don't have that kind of energy. An hour.
So yeah, it's about noon 15. So you all do not have to be at the stables until first light tomorrow.
Ruin, I take it you've been.
Yes, I have been as far as into the Clever Slug. I haven't dug into the underground any further than that.
Dahlia, have you been to the underground?
Has she been to the underground?
You were raised in the underground, right?
That's right, I'm a drow. Yes.
Why,
So-
yes, I have.
Dahlia's very familiar.
Yeah, I was born down there. Yeah.
Velphie,
Drow.
have you been to the underground?
I have not. I've only recently learned about the underground,
Same.
but I'm very curious to go.
Yeah, me too. I kind of want to go.
And Velphie,
What?
you'll remember that, oh my gosh, Golmek mentioned a bookstore.
Yes, there is. I'm interested. I would very much like to go.
If we do go down to the underground, you just stay close.
If there
Is it
isn't
dangerous?
anything, if there isn't anything that you, or if there's anything that you don't want to potentially disappear, like your money, or just keep it tight to your person, because a gnome almost stole my wallet.
Well, no, I don't know why I'm about to ask that question. People have plenty of reason to steal in these times. That's unfortunate.
I mean, money is money. It spends everywhere.
I would need to drop something off at my home then before we go, if we are to go.
We have an afternoon to burn.
That is true. I'm willing. I'm curious
Yes.
because I always thought Vana just didn't care much for us, and maybe requested a transfer or something. But
I
now
mean,
it
that
sounds
could be
much more
completely
ominous.
possible too.
That's true. Maybe this is all a cover because she just didn't want to tell us
Like
that she
us.
can't stand us.
And with that, class is out of session. You all have plans to go to the underground next. That's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Yay.
The underground.
Go into the underground.
Whee! I'm
I wanna go.
excited.
I want to hang out with the cool kids in the underground.
Yeah.
This is a whole place y'all haven't explored yet, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and I've literally been like just inside the doorway, and like I walked in and went, "Oh, don't touch my wallet."
Seems nice. See y'all later.